Welcome to Wednesday, July 22nd.
We will look at all options in terms of how we would respond if they do come into effect.
Ottawa has less than a month to figure out how to respond and possibly avoid punishing new tariffs from the U.S.
We need to stand up to the bully, and we need to hit him tariff to tariff.
Calls for action. Trade tensions are topping talks at the Premier's meeting in Charlottetown.
So the Golf Sask guy has been asking me about this since I was 10 years old, and it feels great to finally do it.
And a 16-year-old golfer from Saskatoon has etched her name in the provincial golf history books. Stay with us. Saskatchewan, your morning starts right now. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Wednesday.
It's going to be a fun day today. Listen, this is really exciting to see some of these golfers do some amazing things in this province.
Yeah, very excited for that. Your mic is not working, I am being told.
And I've got a brand new one. They got me a brand new
fancy mic.
That sounds like it's working in my ear. Is it working? We're working now.
We're working.
Okay, listen, we can afford technology. It's cool. 6:01, let's get to news. Maybe. We'll see. Canada and the U.S. have fewer than 30 days to talk trade before new 50% tariffs kick in.
I spoke with President Trump earlier this morning. We agreed to intensify negotiations in the coming weeks.
Their leadership, from Trudeau to the current leadership, in all fairness to them, they need us to survive.
The new tariffs will affect about $28 billion worth of Canadian annual exports. These tariffs are due to take effect on August 19th. Officials on both sides in contact, but Canada and the U.S. have not started formal trade talks. As of now, Canada will respond. The government has talked next steps with premiers and its advisory committee on Canada-U.S. economic relations. Prime Minister Mark Carney says he's not ruling out concessions to the U.S. or retaliation. Trade tensions dominated a premier's meeting in PEI with a possible retaliatory agenda.
There is not a chance in hell that U.S. alcohol is going back on the shelf in British Columbia.
In addition to a ban on American booze, the 9 premiers found common ground on a way to strengthen the market at home. They signed a landmark agreement allowing Canadians to buy alcohol directly from producers in participating provinces. Most are now moving to implement it, expanding an approach already in place in New Brunswick and Manitoba. Alberta's premier was also pressed on whether oil and potash would be part of Canada's response. But after a call with the Prime Minister, there was no clear answer on retaliatory tariffs. Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe is urging restraint in Canada's response to the latest round of possible American tariffs. The latest are hitting a wide range of manufactured goods, including some made here in Saskatchewan. Wayne Mantika reports.
A lot of damage has been.
The newest American 50% tariff impacts a broad range of Canadian manufactured goods, from wine to hockey sticks.
We need to stand up to the bully, and we need to hit him tariff to tariff.
There is not a chance in hell that U.S. alcohol is going back on the shelf.
Trump was angered by declining auto exports to Canada and removal of alcohol from store shelves in all provinces except Alberta and Saskatchewan. Premier Scott Moe prefers a tempered response.
At the end of the day, why would you want to fight with your largest trading partner?
Saskatchewan's NDP is urging Moe to stick with the group.
You know, this is a time where Canada and the provinces should be united, and this is where Saskatchewan and Alberta are offside.
Emma Crow-Snow works as a shipper for a small Regina wood products manufacturer. She is following the ever-changing tariff landscape.
It was a good few days of just reading and learning and going over so many different government sites and web pages and documents.
The latest tariffs have forced her employer, Sticks and Doodles, to stop shipping to American customers.
Wood ornaments, it was a bit of a shock to see them on a list next to hockey skates and cement and all kinds of things. And so, we have to make adjustments.
There may be some disagreement among premiers on how to deal with Trump tariffs, but the focus of this week's meeting will be on building a united front. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Organizers of a fundraiser say they've raised enough money to return the body of Bhishma Rajguru to India after he was killed in a two-vehicle crash over the weekend. Fundraiser organizers said the funds from the GoFundMe page are more than enough to cover the cost of repatriation, although that can't happen until autopsies and tests are complete. The money will also help his parents in India. The 22-year-old died in a crash on Highway 11 near Lumsden on Saturday, along with Saskatchewan Rough Riders linebacker Jaden Dalkey, who RCMP say was driving the wrong way at the time. Alcohol and cannabis were found in Dalkey's vehicle, but it's not clear if that was a direct factor in the crash, with toxicology reports still pending. Saskatoon City Council has put its support behind a new homeless action plan. Jeremy Dodge is following this and has been for a while. Who's leading the way on this?
Well, Daryl, the city is letting community partners lead the way. A city committee approved the Saskatoon Homelessness Action Plan, aiming to provide a coordinated approach to addressing homelessness. Much of the plan's about increasing the affordable housing supply, addressing barriers, and encouraging community collaboration. But much of the conversation was about the lack of data, with the city relying on a point-in-time count, which only shows the number of homeless people in the city on that particular day.
2012, 2014, 2016, and 2025. Saskatoon's homelessness action plans have never changed, and they have not produced measurable results. We have by name data, but it is not sufficient enough to qualify what the needs are.
The last point-in-time count showed 1,931 people living on the streets of Saskatoon. As part of Tuesday's vote, city administration will report back on options for a more comprehensive data framework to work with. So it's no secret to anybody driving around Saskatoon that construction season this year is particularly busy. Several construction projects are ongoing across Saskatoon, such as overnight road resurfacing. The city recently announced the University Bridge construction has been delayed again due to ensure emergency vehicles have consistent access to the Royal University and Jim Pattison Children's Hospitals. According to the city, a delayed start due to weather has been a significant factor in this year's busy workload.
So it wasn't maybe as gradual as we typically see it. Everybody was needing to get out there and do the work to maintain the schedule, so it all started kind of, I think, all at once. But we have a lot of work in a short construction season, so we're pretty much everywhere throughout the entire city.
The city also announced Wanuskewin Road will be closed for 3 months starting next week. Well, Daryl, police say 3 people from Estevan are dead after a crash in the Maple Creek area this week.
That's right. According to RCMP, the crash happened near Piapod Monday afternoon when an SUV crashed into a semi parked on the side of the highway. 3 people inside the SUV were declared dead on scene: a 49-year-old woman, 72-year-old woman, and 75-year-old man, all from Estevan. Their families have been notified. A 4th person in the vehicle was seriously injured. Maple Creek RCMP continue to investigate. The Saskatchewan Rough Riders still have a football game to play tomorrow night. The Riders will face the Edmonton Elks for the first time this season and will have the unenviable task of trying to limit star running back Justin Rankin. He's 2nd in the league in rushing yards, and the Riders know they're in for a real test.
That's been kind of the question about this guy for a while. When Rankin first came in the league, even when he wasn't, getting all the stardom that he has now, those were some long film sessions trying to figure that same question out.
The winner of the early season showdown Thursday night will take top spot in the West Division standings. So we get our attention over to the Weather Center and Kayleen Sawatsky. A little bit of smoke in the area last night and yesterday. Does that persist today?
Yes, we are seeing very similar conditions to yesterday in terms of the smoke. It's not necessarily getting worse today, although we are seeing the air quality statements expanding down towards the south right now. We're waking up to them this morning, newly in effect around the Parkland region. Other than that, though, very similar to what we saw yesterday with the temperatures right now. 13 degrees to wake you up and winds very low. Again, similar to yesterday. This morning view is brought to you by Stars Lottery, your ticket fund's life-saving care across Saskatchewan. 14 degrees to wake you up in Saskatoon. Mix of sun and cloud. Again, very low wind speeds, and that is going to continue into the afternoon hours as well. As I mentioned, here is an updated look at your air quality statements. Obviously, we still have them in effect far up north, still in effect for far up north in Alberta and Manitoba as well. But what's new today is that extension down through the Parkland region right around Yorkton. Air quality health index showing that our numbers are still very similar to yesterday, meaning there is a high risk to your health up north and a moderate risk in central and southern Saskatchewan today. Futurecast showing that we are also going to be seeing just a little bit of rain today. Again, no large accumulations. We do have a chance of rain, risk of thunderstorms right around Saskatoon and Prince Albert into the later parts of the day. So early afternoon, mix of sun and cloud. Just be prepared for that for your late afternoon and evening, the chance of that thunderstorm. By tomorrow morning, this is at about 6:30 a.m. We do see it right around Yorkton, bringing just a little bit of rain. Where we're seeing more of that rain moving in and the chance of some more severe thunderstorms actually comes in later in the day on Thursday evening. It's going to be in northern Saskatchewan. We're not really seeing a lot of that through central or southern Saskatchewan. And then by the 12 a.m. hour around Friday, that larger system has pushed off into northern Manitoba. We're just seeing a little bit of a light sprinkling down south. Today's forecast with the temperatures warmer than where we were at yesterday, back to above that seasonal average, and this trend is going to continue for the coming days. It is going to be very hot to end our week off. 28 degrees for Swift Current today, 29 in Moose Jaw, 28 for Regina, and 27 in Saskatoon, 27 in Yorkton as well, and 27 in Estevan. And again, as I mentioned, winds are going to be very pleasant again today. We're not really seeing much in terms of those gusts, seeing winds between 15 to 25 kilometers per hour for most of central and southern Saskatchewan today.
A busy couple of days at the Farnborough Air Show in the UK for Bombardier, the Canadian airplane manufacturer, announcing today it signed a 10-year service support agreement with the Swedish Armed Forces to maintain the two Global 6500 planes that Sweden just had delivered. Yesterday, it announced a potential $570 million deal with the helicopter company of Saudi Arabia to buy up to 60 jets. As Canadian youth continue to grapple with elevated unemployment rates, Canada's temporary foreign workers program has come under fire from critics who say it has exacerbated the problem. But new research suggests those claims are unfounded. The Canadian Federation of Independent Business says their study found that the jobs most often filled by temporary foreign workers are the ones young Canadians are least willing and least likely to take, and puts pressure on those businesses. A baby swarmed by smoke, a toilet of bloody urine, a cancerous colon. These are among the new series of 13 graphic images that are required to be printed on cigarette packages across Canada starting August 1st. This is the fourth set of warnings mandated by Health Canada since 2000, aiming to reduce tobacco use to less than 5% by 2035. It was at 13% in 2024. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Well, cyclists in Belgium got some relief from a punishing heat wave on some unique bike paths. These paths cut through a lake and forest canopy in Limburg province.
Look at that.
The cycling through water path takes riders below the surface of a lake for 200 meters. Another part takes them 10 meters up into the forest canopy on a 700-meter circular route.
Wow.
Wow.
Very pretty.
Not much room for rainfall.
No, there sure isn't. Or like high wind gusts.
Right.
In Outlook,
wow.
in Outlook, Saskatchewan, they took a train bridge, a high trestle train bridge, and they made it a walking path across the community, an old decommissioned bridge, and the views are stunning out there. Really nice idea that they did there. So if you're ever in the area, give it a try.
So producer Nathan picked today's question. He wants to know, what is your favorite cereal?
I think he's hungry. All of his questions revolve around food.
Yeah, but I think this
Can't
is a
blame
good
the
question, though, because this is one where there's just so many different answers that you can pick.
Are you guys like my house where you got 37 boxes and your kids say no to like all of them and then start at the beginning?
No, I refuse. I buy one box at a time.
Oh, look at you.
One box of cereal at a time.
So, it's a real...
And that's the option.
Impressive.
Yeah, good for you.
What's your favorite, Jeremy?
I cycle between mini wheats, multigrain Cheerios, and Vector. Occasionally, I'll put like Sugar Crisp or something in there as well. But
look at how healthy you are.
I was going to say the fiber.
Look at how healthy
you are.
That's right.
I love mini wheats, and I like to eat them dry too, without the milk. And our videographer, Ashley,
she's got some unique eating habits.
Ashley goes, "Why are you eating a wicker basket?"
There's that. She likes to eat those. What are the Sour Patch Kids?
The Sour Patch Kids.
But she boils the sugar off of them.
The sugar isn't
like
good.
Weird gummies by the end.
Yeah.
This is a whole. This is a whole vibe. Let's throw the QR code up on your screen. You can answer your favorite cereal. And we'll take a look over the city of Regina, which is going to be hot for the next few days. Kayleen will tell you how hot coming up in weather.
Drugs like Ozempic have been associated with other health benefits like cardiovascular and liver health. And now a new study suggests another positive link to reducing alcohol-related hospitalizations. Pauline Chen has the details.
GLP-1 agonist drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy were first used in controlling diabetes, then for weight control.
We've seen how they can help with cravings related to food. And so the leading theory is that GLP-1s can affect the part of the brain that, control feeling full and feeling rewarded. And so kind of lends itself to thinking maybe that could work for alcohol and drugs.
They looked in different relevant populations. So one was a group of people with diabetes that is the primary group who these drugs are prescribed for. A second group was people with obesity who didn't necessarily have diabetes. And then the third study was interesting, was a study of people with alcohol use disorders.
U.S. researcher Emma Haller says the reduction in alcohol-related hospitalizations was significant for all three groups.
So in the diabetes and obesity medication comparisons, the risk was about 22 to 32% lower.
Toronto liver specialist Dr. Jordan Feld says the numbers were even more striking for those with alcohol use disorder.
In the alcohol group, they're actually comparing the GLP-1 agonists to treatment for alcohol use disorder. So other drugs that are used to try to reduce alcohol use in people with alcohol use disorders. And they actually found a much more significant effect, about a 2/3 reduction. So 65% reduction in admission for alcohol-related complications.
Haller says more study is needed, but this is not the first study to look at GLP-1 agonists in connection with addictions. Could these drugs someday be used in addiction treatment?
I definitely think that's a possibility. It's obviously premature. We wouldn't recommend at this point using GLP-1 specifically for that indication, but I think this study, along with some of the other published literature, really gives us a sense that maybe there's something here.
Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Ag in Motion is underway up in Saskatoon, one of the biggest shows of the year for agricultural producers. Mike Siona is there to check it out and tee it up for us this morning. Mike?
Well, we've got Rob O'Connor here, and we've got you out of motion finally. What an event Ag in Motion is. And another classic 3-day Saskatchewan Farm Show. Tell me the highlights.
Well, I think some of the great things here at the show to come and see are the innovations, the demonstrations on 7th Street, whether it's the drone demos or the high clearance sprayers. If you like to see some of the livestock, we have handling demonstrations going on, feed mixer demos. Lots to see and lots to learn.
Looking at like tens of thousands of people coming through here. I mean, just talk to me about the size and scale of this event.
Well, this shows we started in 2015 and it has grown to now where we have over 600 companies participate in it. Plus, we'll have about 300 international buyers come from 20 different countries, and they come to buy Canadian technology, which is on display here at the show.
Absolutely. And then one of my favorite parts is actually some of just the plots where different crops are at different stages of growth with different seeds. I mean, it's just as interactive as you can get.
Well, and that's what this show is. That's why it's called Ag in Motion. About 30,000 people from Canada will get through the gates to come and see whether it's crop plots or demonstrations or visit just with their neighbors. That's what this show's all about.
Absolutely. And there's so many local businesses on display here as well, local to Saskatchewan. How great is it to see that as we lead in the agriculture space?
Yeah, of the 600 exhibitors, there's about 250 that come right from Saskatchewan themselves. Most of the great technology for dryland farming is produced right here in the Prairie provinces, and Saskatchewan's a leader there. And you know, Saskatoon's a big hub for that, and that's why Langham and Ag in Motion fits so well with the Saskatoon area.
Perfect. Well, we are in the northwest corner. Means we got the whole Ag in Motion plot, I guess we'll call it, to check out as the morning continues.
Let's take a look at our national forecast now. It is going to be a hot day in British Columbia, 32 degrees in Prince George today and 31 in Vancouver. Calgary up to 31 as well, and Edmonton 29 degrees. Over in Manitoba, 27 degrees. So everywhere really seeing an improvement from yesterday. Out east, though, a little bit cooler. Ottawa only up to 17 degrees with that cloud cover today. Toronto up to 22. Montreal 21. Fredericton 24. Halifax 21 degrees with a chance of rain today. And St. John's 17 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices, and they have gone up. Your average price in Regina is now $177.9. You could still find it for as low as $152.9. In Saskatoon, your average price is also up. It's now $178.9. You could find it for as low as $157.9. In the farm markets today, we find the street price of canola at $751.25 per ton. The futures price $803.20 per ton. Amber Durum wheat at $285.20 per ton, and red spring wheat $313.20 per ton. The Canadian dollar continues to fall. It's now at 70.95 cents US. No spoilers here, but we are catching up with the latest eliminated team from the Amazing Race Canada in about 15 minutes. Stay with us.
Good morning. It is 6:30. Northern Ontario First Nation leaders are demanding a public inquiry into the province's wildfire response.
They were here on Saturday. Premier Doug Ford, some ministers were here as well. And they didn't even bother to reach out to any First Nation leader.
Wildfires have devastated several communities, displacing thousands. A coalition of chiefs say their communities were left on their own without adequate communication and evacuation support. 12 of the 13 communities evacuated are First Nations. Leaders want the public inquiry to look into issues such as decision-making, emergency coordination, and communications with First Nations. Chiefs say the federal government also needs to be held responsible. In British Columbia, new evacuation orders have been issued for a wildfire burning south of Boston Bar.
There's open flames up on this side, right around Anderson Creek.
The order covers Boston Bar First Nation, North Bend, and Canyon Alpine. Anyone remaining in that area, which was already under an evacuation order, is being told to leave immediately. The new wildfire is part of the Brunswick Wildfire Complex. There is also a new evacuation order in place for people living in Hell's Gate, just south of Boston Bar. People there are being told to pick up and leave. Highway 1 remains closed due to the wildfires. Closer to home, an overdose alert has been issued for Saskatoon following another increase in calls to the Saskatoon Fire Department. Now, the Ministry of Health says Saskatoon firefighters responded to 90 calls for service between Friday and Monday. In addition to the escalating cases, the department is also seeing patients needing more help. That has included administering multiple doses of naloxone, performing CPR, and providing ventilation. The ministry says the unknown substance is circulating in the Saskatoon area, causing a high risk of overdose. Fentanyl or other opioids may be mixed in. A recent agreement between the federal, provincial, territorial agriculture ministers will allow agricultural research to continue in Indian Head and at Scott Research Farms. Through a memorandum of understanding, opportunities to explore new approaches at the research farm in Indian Head will continue. Prior to the agreement, Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada mentioned closing the Saskatchewan sites. With the research farm employing hundreds of people in the community, the town says it would be a big loss.
They realize the importance in agricultural study science. So it's a big thank you to them for stepping up and helping with keeping our research farm open and staying competitive in the market.
Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada is the country's largest agricultural research network with 17 research centres across the country. The Regina Police Service says it's now reviewing the results of a community survey on the mosque's call to prayer. RPS says it received the survey results Monday and is now reviewing them as part of the permit application. The initial broadcast last month sparked online backlash and negative comments, with police saying the debate has created division in the community. While the feedback will be considered, police say the decision on whether the broadcasts continue will ultimately be based on the city's existing bylaw.
At the end of the day, we can rely on the legislation that's existing in place right now, and so there isn't any opportunity in that bylaw that says public opinion has, a check mark there. So, it's good information to us for us to look at, but I think at the end of the day, we can only act on the legislation as it currently exists.
Regina Police have not given a timeline for when a decision would be made. RPS urging residents to remain respectful and avoid language or behavior that could cross the line into criminal offences as that review continues. 2 Alberta girls were given the opportunity to experience the life of an RCMP officer, becoming co-commanding officers for a day. Maya and Haley donning the red serge for the uniform of the force and participating in the Sergeant Major's Parade at the Training Academy Depot. The annual event is organized by the Kids with Cancer Society, allowing 2 children who have been diagnosed with cancer an RCMP dream experience. The girls flew in the Mounties helicopter and airplane and were shown many parts of the cadet training program at Depot.
It was a lot of fun. We got spoiled. We got stuff that not many kids could get to do, and it was just a fun experience to remember for a lifetime.
Nice cameo there from our own Gareth Dillistone. Another important duty for a co-commanding officer: inspect the cadets on parade. The program is intended to build happy and positive memories for those young survivors. Great program. A 16-year-old Saskatoon golfer has etched her name into Saskatchewan golf history, joining her mother as the first mother-daughter duo to win the Saskatchewan Amateur Women's Championships. Grace Otakon was the winner, won 3 provincial titles in the past 2 weeks. She first captured the U19 and U17 championships, then won the Saskatchewan Amateur Women's Championship last Thursday. That win puts her name alongside her mom, who won that title in 2018 as amateur. Grace says joining her mom has been a long-time goal and a special memory for them to share together. Great day to get out on the golf course, but there might be a little bit of smoke depending on where you are.
Yeah, no worse than what we saw yesterday, but still those conditions that we were talking about yesterday have persisted to today. So if the smoke was irritating you yesterday, you might want to stay inside today. In terms of temperatures, we're still at 13 degrees to wake us up in the Queen City, a mix of sun and cloud, and some winds coming in right now at 9 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, 14 degrees right now, again a mix of sun and cloud, just a little bit of smoke in the air, and winds coming in at 4 kilometers per hour. Let's turn our attention to conditions across the province now. 10 degrees in Stony Rapids, so a cooler start to the day than what we have been seeing, but no worries, the afternoon is going to be a warm one. 16 degrees in La Ronge, 16 in Nipawin, and 16 degrees in Melfort. Cooler through Spirit with this hour, 12 degrees. Down in the south, 13 degrees to wake you up in East End, Swift Current, Regina, as we mentioned, the Battlefords, 12 degrees in Estevan and 16 degrees in Yorkton today. Into the afternoon, we do have the potential of seeing some very light precipitation, mainly through northern and central Saskatchewan. 27 degrees with a risk of some light thunderstorms in the Battlefords, 27 for Saskatoon and Prince Prince Albert as well. Yorkton at 27 as well. 27 in Estevan, 28 expected for Weyburn and Regina, and 29 in Moose Jaw, 28 in Swift Current. So overall, temperatures today are warmer than what we saw yesterday. They're also warmer than that seasonal average, and that trend is going to continue into our weekend. It is going to be very warm and above that average. 32 degrees tomorrow. We do have a chance of rain, risk of thunderstorms for Regina. 30 degrees on Friday. Mainly talking about that in the afternoon for Friday. Thursday, it's mainly looking like it could be in the evening hours. Saturday and Sunday, though, we're seeing nothing but sunshine. 35 degrees on Saturday, 33 by Sunday. So we do have a high likelihood of seeing some of those heat warnings coming back into effect. 30 degrees by Monday and 29 degrees by Tuesday. In Saskatoon, 30 degrees tomorrow. Again, chance of rain, risk of thunderstorms mainly into the evening hours. The afternoon right now as we track it is going to be sunny. 28 degrees on Friday, 33 on Saturday. And we're seeing a higher chance of some rain coming in for Sunday afternoon, 29 degrees. 27 by Monday with, again, a chance of some rain, and 28 by Tuesday with a mix of sun and cloud.
Welcome back. This is your official spoiler alert. We are about to talk to the latest eliminated team from the Amazing Race Canada. Roll the tape.
Because you failed to complete the train service challenge, you have been assessed a 90-minute penalty. Dana and Cordelia, I am sorry to tell you this, but you have been eliminated from the race.
We did our best.
And with that, the journey for the mother-daughter duo of Dana and Cordelia came to an end last night as teams navigated their way through parts of British Columbia. And through the magic of television, they are here with us this morning. Thank you so much for doing this. Dana, let's start with you. Do you have a future as a server, and will you use video from last night's show as part of your application?
Oh my God, I'm a simple gal, man. I'm no good for all that fancy schmancy food. There's a reason, like I said last night, I served for probably 2 weeks, and then I got a job coaching soccer. That's more my forte.
You're welcome to come coach my kids' team at any point. Cordelia, how emotional was it to see parts of BC that were impacted by the wildfire and just be able to replant some trees and restore the area a little bit?
It really hit close to home for us because wildfires are something that are like rampant in Labrador every summer. And there was actually a really bad one in Newfoundland last year, and we're no strangers to getting evacuated from our homes. So to be able to help with the rebuilding of Jasper was like a very special, that honest to God, out of all of the legs, even though we got eliminated at Jasper, that one was my favorite leg. It was so special to us to be able to do that. And I was planting those trees with love, and I even said that.
It's all about decision making, right? Do you watch the episode back last night and think if we had just gone to the trees immediately, maybe this would have turned out a little bit different?
It wouldn't have made a difference at the end of the day because we ended up with that 90-minute penalty that we didn't know about. So either or, it didn't matter. But it was interesting to see that every single team went to box it. Like, I didn't know that until last night. So, I mean, I guess we were all thinking the same thing. Plant it was going to be a tough one, but I really did love that challenge. It was...
Yeah, me too.
It was a good one.
We would have did well and did quicker on the box, but I'm glad it worked out the way it did because either way we would have been eliminated because of penalty. And that experience was incredible, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It's incredible to watch because the editing is always, you wonder just how close are these teams, but that really was a photo finish. I'm curious what you learned about each other through the course of this.
We keep getting this question and we keep saying we've learned nothing about each other. We just know each other that well. Like, we knew going into this exactly how we are. So, which is, I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, we no, exactly. We didn't learn a thing, only that we narrate our lives to each other and didn't realize it.
What is something, Dana, you watched this show like I did for a number of years, the American, the Canadian version. You finally get on the show. What's something along the way that you didn't expect that we don't get to see a lot of on the actual finished product?
There's a lot that's not air. Like, there's so many fun moments they didn't get to see, but it's because there's only 43 minutes and 10 teams, so everything is not going to be on there, and thank God.
Yeah.
But some things, we did some funny things that didn't make the cut. But
I would say the navigation, Mom.
Oh, Yeah. The navigation
was with navigating.
We had our biggest challenges was getting to the challenges.
I think that's probably true for a lot of teams. I always wonder, when do you guys eat? When do you guys sleep? When do you guys, go to the bathroom? Those kinds of things. It's tough. Would you do it again, and why would you recommend it to someone else?
Oh, I'd do it in a heartbeat. We keep saying we're still waiting for John to give us a clue saying it was a non-elimination leg.
Yeah, still waiting.
I would say if you get the opportunity to do it, oh my gosh, do it. It is like, as stressful as it was, and everybody's seen how stressed out we were the whole time, I wouldn't change a thing, and I would do it again over and over. Like, it was just like so unique. It was such an amazing experience. Everybody was incredible.
And it doesn't matter what position you come in, what you place, you still get that experience of meeting all the incredible teams, everybody that, puts this show together, like a lot of behind the scenes. So, we still got a really good experience, even though we're out early, and I would 100% go back and do it again.
I love it. I love your positive outlooks and just how much fun you guys were to watch along the way. So thank you so much for a couple of minutes this morning. The competition, by the way, intensifies as teams head out to Quebec. You can see it Tuesday at 9 on CTV and Crave.
Hello, Nikki Reyes with you inside the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. For that, we'll head over to tennis in Portugal. The round of 32, Orlando Luz, with an incredible backhand slice with crazy spin that Nuno Borges can't get loose. Loses in straight sets, but he got your must-see moment from Tuesday. Tonight, we got the MLS on TSN as Toronto FC takes on the New England Revolution. It all starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on TSN 4. That's all from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
All right, I'm going to read this script exactly how it's written. Let's head to Janelle Lippi at the Wascana Racing Canoe Club this morning. Janelle, is that your punny brilliance this morning?
Jeremy, that might have been me. I won't say for sure, but it does feel like the suspect is in the room with us. And I think that's a great pun to start off this morning with. And I've got Eve with me as well. We're talking all things summer fun. Now, Eve, talk to me a little bit about the club. What's it all about?
So we're a sprint canoe kayak club, and we have programs for all ages and abilities. If you're an adult, if you're a kid, we have different programs for everyone.
All right, so really, really fun stuff. And we were talking earlier before the interview, there's a training camp or something along those lines. Is that correct?
Yeah, in the spring, our high performance group goes to Florida. And so we'll go for between usually 3 to 8 weeks. And we go to Merritt Island and we get on the water early.
All right, so talking about that water and getting on it, what does a day look like for you guys?
Well, in the summer on Wascana, like a day looks like practice starts at 7. We usually have to get up and sweep the docks, and then we go for a round around the lake, and then we get on the water and do our on-water workout. And then certain days we'll do weights after that as well. Then we all go home and rest. Some of the athletes are coaches, and we'll stay here and work. And then we all come back at 4 and do our second practice of the day.
Wow. Okay, so a really big commitment. Now, for those who are watching, looking to get outside during the summer, enjoying some of the sunshine, how can they be a part of it?
Well, you can look on Wascana Racing Canoe Club online. You can just search up the name, and it'll show our website, and you can see all the different programs we have.
All right. Great information. Thank you so very much for this. Once again, you can head to that website for a little bit more information. You might be wondering to yourself, I would love to see a demonstration of this. And do not fear, because we will be showing that a little bit later on here this morning.
Excellent, Janelle. Thank you. I can't wait. We'll check back in with you in a while.
It's July 22nd, and we have just one milestone to share with you today. It's a big happy birthday going out to Emerson. She's turning 4 years old. We hope it's a great day for you with lots of love from your mom, dad, Boston, and your puppies.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
Today's the rubber match. Brandon, your impossible question of the day. Kayleen got the first one. We missed yesterday's. Give it to us.
You got it right. It was clipping your nails. 201 people cut their yes. So there it is. You guys are tied up right now.
All right. Well, give us another
Beautiful
one.
And smart. Okay, we'll do one. We'll do one coming up in the next break.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to make it extra hard now that you guys are geniuses at this game. I got to do some more research. So we're going to do that next break. I'll get you the impossible question of the day for a chance to win tickets to see Dallas Smith at the Queen City X next weekend. But I want to actually read a listener text here. At 54321, we want to help Sherry out. Please text and help us out. They're actually having her and her husband having an argument. My husband and I just paid off our kitchen remodel, and now he wants to buy an $8,000 massage chair. They have a small house. It would go in the living room. It's big, it's noisy, and I think it's a terrible reason to go back into debt. He says, I got my kitchen, so now he should get his chair. Sherry disagrees. So what do you think? Is a massage chair worth going into debt for? I say just get a fold-out chair and massage your husband, Sherry.
Oh, well.
Done.
There. Fixes itself.
Am I going to get canceled for that? I don't know, but text us, 54321.
RoboCop will soon be fighting crime on Prime Video. Amazon MGM Studios announcing it's producing a TV series version of the 1987 movie classic. The show will follow a similar plot with a giant tech company convincing a city to put a robot on the police force.
Hey, sweetie.
The trailer is out for the upcoming horror movie, The Other Mommy. Jessica Chastain stars as a mother dealing with marital problems and an evil entity that takes on her appearance. It hits theaters in October. A lightsaber prop with Luke Skywalker's severed hand from The Empire Strikes Back is sold at auction for $3.75 million. Heritage Auction says that's the highest price ever for a Star Wars prop. And happy birthday to actress and singer Selena Gomez, who turns 34 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Alex Stone, ABC News.
Well, sidebar time. Frozen drinks are a great way to beat the heat, even apparently for your pets. The new summer drink sensation, the Duckarita. All the rage for these fine feathered friends. Cold bevy is blended berries, keeping them hydrated and happy during a heat wave.
Can I just say I'm kind of upset that they called it a Duckarita and not a Duckery?
Well,
like
it all,
a daiquiri?
you know, it all goes on their bill.
Oh.
Aye.
There's missed opportunities here, but this really is a cute video. All right, let's get over to a little dance, making it sporty. Take a look.
Shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer.
The Ping Pong Pang crew as they bounce a ping pong bottle on their paddles while dancing to Gloria Estefan's conga. Talk about multitasking.
If you were born in a certain year of the 80s, you were afraid the rhythm was going to get you. Look at him go.
Whatever it takes to set yourself apart, right?
Get those.
Jeremy's not impressed.
It's because Jeremy did it first. He just didn't do it on video. We're back after this.
It's true.
No, you can't control yourself any longer.
It's Wednesday, July 22nd.
We have to hit back. We have to, rather than be on our back heel, as I said, we have to go forward.
There are calls for Ottawa to hit back at threats of new U.S. tariffs. We'll look into some of the cards Canada can play.
They realize the importance in agricultural study science. So it's a big thank you to them for stepping up and helping with keeping our research farm open and staying competitive in the market.
Ag research will continue in Indian Head and Scott Research Farms.
He's a complete quarterback. He does everything right, man. Doesn't make mistakes, doesn't really turn the ball over.
The Riders are
Still a game to play. The Riders will continue to prepare to face the Edmonton Elks on Thursday, with heavy hearts, of course. Stay with us. Saskatchewan, your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Wednesday.
You know what? Somebody liked my joke.
Who?
Tim Day, formerly from Pure Country, now with the Queen City X and Real District, said that joke that I made about putting it on their bill quacked him up.
All right.
Speaking of missed opportunities, we missed that one.
Good morning, Tim. Thanks for watching.
Good morning to all of you out there. You can, of course, always text us at 10400. Standard message rates may apply. Whatever musings come to your brain. Hot weekend. Probably a great weekend to go out and do some camping.
Great weekend to stay inside with AC, if you ask me.
Just hug the unit.
Yeah, a lot of places in Saskatchewan going to be surpassing 30 degrees this weekend.
We'll get into that in just a minute. First, we will talk about Canada and the U.S. having fewer than 30 days to talk trade before new 50% tariffs kick in.
I spoke with President Trump earlier this morning. We agreed to intensify negotiations in the coming weeks.
Their leadership, from Trudeau to the current leadership, I mean, in all fairness to them, they need us to survive.
The new tariffs will affect about $28 billion worth of Canadian annual exports. These tariffs are due to take effect on August 19th. Officials on both sides are in contact, but Canada and the U.S. have not started formal negotiations. As of now, Canada will respond, or how they will respond. The government has talked next steps with premiers and its advisory committee, rather. Prime Minister Mark Carney says he's not ruling out concessions to the U.S. or any form of retaliation. Canada's premiers are, of course, in Charlottetown today with a second day of meetings taking place and a new threat looming overhead, of course. One issue there is disagreement on is the decision by some provinces to remove American alcohol from provincial liquor store shelves. One of the issues that prompted Trump's latest move.
At the end of the day, why would you want to fight with your largest trading partner?
The idea of the president that he can bully us into whatever he wishes is incorrect.
If he continues to constantly bully us, we can't keep rolling over. We can't keep backing down. We have to go full tilt.
The White House says the 50% tariffs announced on Monday are in a response to the provincial booze bans, Canada's supply-managed dairy industry, and reciprocal tariffs imposed on U.S. cars. The premiers from 9 provinces were able to reach an agreement on removing barriers to interprovincial sales of alcohol.
Strengthening internal trade, being our own best customer at a time when it really matters.
Wasn't able to sign that because these legislative changes have not been made yet, but we're considering making them in the fall.
Under the agreement, provincial rules will be changed to allow Canadian producers to sell their alcoholic beverages and products directly to consumers regardless of jurisdiction. Premiers of Quebec and others agreeing. Organizers of a fundraiser say they've raised now enough money to return the body of Bhishma Rajguru to India after he was killed in that 2-vehicle crash over the weekend. A fundraiser organizer said the money from the GoFundMe page are enough to cover the cost of repatriation, although that cannot happen until autopsies and tests are completed. The money will also help his family back in India. 22-year-old died in that crash on Highway 11 near Lumsden on Saturday, along with Saskatchewan Roughriders linebacker Jaden Dalkey, who RCMP say was driving the wrong way at the time. Alcohol and cannabis were found in Dalkey's vehicle, but it's not clear if that was a direct factor in the crash. Toxicology reports are still pending. There's a new plan to battle homelessness in your city, Jeremy.
Yeah, Daryl, Saskatoon City Councillors have put their support behind a new homelessness action plan that lets community organizations lead the way. Keelan Sorokon has more on the strategy and the gaps identified by Council.
After more than a year, the city has finalized its Saskatoon Homelessness Action Plan. The 30-page document, working as a framework to make homelessness rare, brief, and non-reoccurring, was approved by a city committee Tuesday, even if many things in the plan aren't city responsibility.
Recommending that the plan be received as information and that the city's role in the plan be reaffirmed.
Councillors and advocates at City Hall were hoping for a little more information. A point-in-time count from October, which found more than 1,900 people experiencing homelessness in the city, was the most relied upon figure in the report, even though it represents a snapshot of the day the count was done.
We have by name data, but it is not sufficient enough to qualify what the needs are.
Karen Covison has spent more than a decade following homelessness policy in Saskatoon and thinks homelessness can be ended, but not without proper information. And councillors are looking for that data to inform decisions.
We understand there's a big problem and that everybody's working hard to fix the problem, but we're not tracking our problem. Not at all.
Affordable housing supply, addressing systemic barriers, and increasing community collaboration are the three priorities of the plan. Of all the action items to accomplish those goals, one stole the show above the rest, advocating for rental control, which the city quickly distanced itself from.
What we're very specifically saying is the city is not weighing in on that.
The action plan will now go before City Council for final approval. Keenan Sorakan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Well, Daryl, following a trend that is sweeping the globe, France has now passed a social media ban for children.
Yeah, by September 1st, Jeremy, children will not be allowed to open new social media accounts in that country. Platforms will then have 4 months to close accounts already open. France is also banning cell phones in high schools. Interesting to see what you think of that. The wreckage of a Pan Am flight that crashed 74 years ago has been found on the ocean floor, believe it or not. The plane crashed into the water off Puerto Rico, killing 52 people. Just 17 were rescued. The discovery of the wreckage involved an underwater drone. The search also used high-resolution sonar to locate the wreckage 2,000 feet below the surface. The plane crashed shortly after takeoff from Puerto Rico in 1952. Now to an unprecedented rescue mission. Marine experts extracting nearly 3 dozen beluga whales from a shuttered Canadian theme park. An enormous undertaking expected to last weeks. Will Reeve reports.
This morning, it was a whale of a rescue. 6 belugas now waking up in their new homes in the United States, saved from a shuttered Canadian marine park that could no longer care for them. The transfer mission of nearly 3 dozen beluga whales began on Monday after Marineland Theme Park outside Toronto announced they could no longer care for the animals.
I can't imagine losing what they're losing, but we're honored to get to help.
4 belugas reaching Chicago's Shed Aquarium, and 2 more, named Birdie Bots and Frankie, reaching SeaWorld San Antonio Tuesday morning.
Beautiful.
After a harrowing rescue to move the whales, which can weigh as much as 4,000 pounds each.
The pace of having to put all of this together so quickly at such a large scale makes this an unreal project.
Workers first maneuver the beluga into a giant sling that has holes for its flippers. A crane then picks it up and moves it to a larger blue container. It's padded and full of water, and home for the next day. Transport trucks then bringing the whales to the Toronto airport, where they were hauled onto a transport plane. The full rescue will take several weeks to complete, but so far the whales are doing swimmingly in their new homes. Will Reeve, ABC News, New York.
Well, the Saskatchewan Roughriders still have a football game to play tomorrow night. The Riders will face the Edmonton Elks for the first time this season and will have the unenviable task of trying to track down that man, Justin Rankin, who's become a superstar. He's second in league rushing yards, and the Riders know it's going to be a real test.
That's been kind of the question about this guy for a while. When Rankin first came in the league, even when he wasn't, getting all the stardom that he has now, those were some long film sessions trying to figure that same question out.
The winner of Thursday's match will take a tough spot in the West Division standings. Let's get over to the Weather Center and join Kaylee and Sawatsky. You talked about a great weekend to do some outdoor things like fishing, camping.
It's going to be a good weekend to get outside, but a very hot weekend. So again, we're going to want to take a lot of frequent breaks inside in the air conditioning. This morning view is brought to you by Stars Lottery, your ticket funds life-saving care across Saskatchewan. To wake us up in Regina, we're at 14 degrees. Again, a little bit hazy out there, similar to where we were at yesterday in terms of that air quality health index. Winds very calm, again, similar to yesterday. Into the afternoon, we'll be seeing that mix of sun and clouds. 16 degrees in Saskatoon. Winds are calm. And again, we're not really going to be seeing those winds increasing all too much for our day today. So that's a nice treat. Radar and satellite showing where we got that precipitation yesterday, right in between Swift Current and Saskatoon there. It was a very slow moving system that was impacting us throughout the evening hours and overnight. Currently right now we're not seeing a whole lot in terms of precipitation, just some light spots of very light drizzle. Into the afternoon today we are seeing some rain up north and through central Saskatchewan. Again, no large accumulations until likely later on into the evening. Could be seeing some very light thunderstorm activity. It's not going to be anything severe. We're not really talking about anything severe until tomorrow later on in the afternoon, and mainly the system is going to be concentrating far up north. It's going to be a lot quicker moving than the last system that we were talking about. So this is in the afternoon tomorrow about 5:30 p.m. and by the evening hours it's looking like we're going to be seeing that larger system with that thunderstorm activity far up north into Manitoba, and just a little bit of some light sprinkling of rain down south. Temperatures warmer than where we were at yesterday and also warmer than that average. 27 degrees on tap today for the Battleford, Saskatoon, Prince Albert, Yorkton and Estevan. 28 for Weyburn, Regina and Swift Current, and 29 degrees for Moose Jaw. Winds, as I mentioned, going to be very low today. Similar to where we were at yesterday, we're not really seeing anything surpassing 30 kilometers per hour, so those are not going to be bothering you today. What might be bothering you, though, is that smoke. This is similar to where we were at yesterday. We're seeing those air quality statements in effect for northern Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. We're seeing the air quality health index at a 7. That is a high risk up north today. Other than that, though, down through central and southern Saskatchewan, we're seeing numbers between a 4 to a 6, so that is a moderate risk. Also seeing some heat warnings down in southern Alberta. Those could be extending over to Saskatchewan in the coming days with the heat on the way. Here's a look at your rural forecast for the day. It's going to be a very warm day, right around or above that seasonal average. 26 degrees for Spiritwood, 27 in Watrous, and up to 29 degrees in Kindersley and Outlook. Down in the south, 28 degrees for Rockland and Assiniboia today, 28 in Pilot Butte and Coronach, and 26 degrees with that sunshine for Carlisle today. Let's take a look at Elbow, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. 29 degrees this afternoon, a mix of sun and cloud, but we could still also be seeing some of that smoke this afternoon. Winds not going to be too strong today, only coming in up to 25 kilometers per hour.
Let's go back out to Mike Siona now, who is making moves at Ag in Motion. Mike.
Well, you can't run a farm without fuel. That's the reality, and we're here at Ag in Motion now with Justin Iwanchuk with Federated Cooperative Limited's FCL, a brand and a company that's well known in the prairies. What does it mean for you guys to be here at this show?
Well, for us to be at the show, we're able to showcase what we have for the farmers. Not only do we fuel Western Canada, but we've got equipment, we've got feed, we've got chemical, we've got seed, fertilizer, kind of everything that a farmer needs to run their operation.
Perfect. Kind of that one-stop shop, so it makes sense to be here. I mean, we're talking about 10, 20, 30,000 plus people coming through the gates here. A lot of them know what Co-op does. A lot of them are Co-op members too, I would assume. Just talk about the reach that you guys have, as you mentioned, fueling Western Canada.
Yeah, so fueling Western Canada and providing that value to our members is huge for us. So this is an opportunity for us to showcase what we have. We have about 150 local co-ops across Western Canada serving farmers across many different communities. And yeah, a huge opportunity for us to be here and just chat with farmers and get to network and learn.
Perfect. Love that. And of course, standing in front of the fuel trucks, you're in the petroleum division. Talk to us about your fuels.
Yeah. So yeah, our fuel today, we have a premium diesel that we offer. Yeah, we have 25 bulk fuel stations or bulk plants across Western Canada and readily available for our farmers through many different delivery methods. So now farmers are getting ready and geared up for harvest, and we're looking forward to that second busy season. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
There you go. All right, well, we're going to keep rolling around here. Ag in Motion continues right through Thursday, just a stone's throw away from Saskatoon.
said that Mike Sion is outstanding in his field, and today he's spending lots of time in one. An amazing model train setup is recreating Cape Breton's rail history. Take a look.
I think I've got about 500 trees on this layout that I made by hand. I came back to work again about a year ago, and I kept on going. Made the coal mine, the Myra Gut Bridge, the road bridge is another one of my creations. But again, a lot of people have had their hands in this.
Ashton's got a model train association. Have you been live with them? Somebody on the show has definitely done it.
I've never done it, but it fascinates me.
They spend so much time. They're so intricate and detailed. Jeremy, this is incredible.
Yeah, I've been to the one here in Saskatoon more than once. It is absolutely the love that you can just see oozing from these things is amazing.
And the hours that they put into it. There's some pretty famous people that love doing this type of stuff too. That brings us to our question du jour.
So we're asking you today, what is your favorite cereal? This one came from producer Nathan, and some good answers coming in so far. My favorite, though, has to be this one saying, what are we, 12? Got to be bacon, eggs, and toast, or a B-E-L-T. Hold the L, so I guess
no lettuce. Doesn't want lettuce.
That one made me chuckle.
Didn't realize that was an option.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess cereal's not for adults, according to this person. All but Debbie's saying my favorite cereal is Shreddies, but I do enjoy a bowl of cornflakes every now and then, too. Susan saying, I switch between multigrain Cheerios and Raisin Bran every few weeks. I treat myself to a bowl of honeycomb. Yum, I like that. Dean saying, my two favorite cereals since I was a kid has been Life and Alpen. I've never had...
Isn't Life a board game?
That's a... No, it's
Life's great.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a cereal, too.
Little squares. Yeah.
Tanya saying, I love my Lucky Charms. Yeah, I'm a grown adult, but I love them. If you want a healthier choice, you know,
you need to start putting toys back in there.
I don't know. Like, this one says healthier choice is mini wheats. I still think mini wheats have a high sugar count.
I don't know, Jeremy. When we were kids, they had that one cereal. Remember that thing that was just chocolate chip cookies in a bowl and you poured milk on it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Whatever those are called.
I think that still exists.
A lot
Does
of
it?
cereals
Oh,
are just sugar.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
but it's
pure
so
sugar.
good. Sheldon from Wynyard saying a whole list here, but Captain Crunch tops the list. I don't think I've ever had Captain Crunch.
I remember. I know the logo.
And I think we have one more answer here coming in from Richie. I know I'm getting old because I now prefer the low sugar mini wheats.
Shout out to Richie and Weyburn. How do we get our answers in?
We want you to text those answers to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or scan that QR code on your screen.
A busy couple of days at the Farnborough Air Show in the UK for Bombardier, the Canadian airplane manufacturer, announcing today it signed a 10-year service support agreement with the Swedish Armed Forces to maintain the two Global 6500 planes that Sweden just had delivered. Yesterday, it announced a potential $570 million deal with the helicopter company of Saudi Arabia to buy up to 60 jets. As Canadian youth continue to grapple with elevated unemployment rates, Canada's temporary foreign workers program has come under fire from critics who say it has exacerbated the problem. But new research suggests those claims are unfounded. The Canadian Federation of Independent Business says their study found that the jobs most often filled by temporary foreign workers are the ones young Canadians are least willing and least likely to take, and puts pressure on those businesses. A baby swarmed by smoke, a toilet of bloody urine, a cancerous colon. These are among the new series of 13 graphic images that are required to be printed on cigarette packages across Canada starting August 1st. This is the fourth set of warnings mandated by Health Canada since 2000, aiming to reduce tobacco use to less than 5% by 2035. It was at 13% in 2024. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Time for your morning mystery. We got 3 clues for you. Here we go. It's a building today, a building. It was built between 1908 and 1912. Clue number 2, it was designed by Montreal architects in the Beaux Arts style. And clue number 3, it was designated a National Historic Site of Canada in 2005.
I also had an added bonus of being told before this that it has to do with Saskatchewan. So,
I was going to say it helped to know where it is. Okay.
Yeah, I had an added advantage of being told.
The old image in the background going to help you out there, JD.
I don't see it yet.
Oh, should we put it back up for him?
I don't want to cheat, okay? If I know, and I don't.
I was given an extra clue, so.
The legislative building of Saskatchewan, which will turn 120 years old in 2028. Doesn't look a day over 110 to me. And you can take tours most weekdays if you go to the front desk. That's today's Morning Mystery.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
All right, travelers, here's a look at your national forecast, and it's going to be a hot day over in the west today. Vancouver, 31 degrees in Prince George, 32 degrees with a whole lot of sunshine on the way, 31 in Calgary and 29 in Edmonton. Winnipeg up to 27 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. A bit cooler through Ontario today, 17 degrees for Ottawa with a lot of cloud cover. Chance of rain in Toronto, 21 degrees. Montreal, 21. Again, a chance of some rain today. Also seeing some rain in Halifax, 21 degrees. 25 in Fredericton, and 16 degrees for St. John's with a mix of sun and cloud. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices, and your average price has gone up. $177.9 in Regina. Could find it for as low as $152.9 in Saskatoon. $178.9 is your average, and you could find it for as low as $157.9. In the farm markets today, we find the street price of canola at $751.25 per ton. The futures price $803.20 per ton. Amber Durum wheat now at $285.20 per ton, and red spring wheat at $313.20 per ton. And the Canadian dollar continues to fall. It's now at 70.95 cents US. When we come back, a special moment for a pair of Saskatoon golfers. Stay with us.
Just about 7:30 on your Wednesday, and the latest now on the war with Iran in the U.S. President Trump insisting that Iran is desperate to negotiate as the Pentagon asks for billions more to fund the war and releases the name of a third American service member believed to have been killed in the attack in Jordan. Martha Raddatz tracking it all.
Overnight, U.S. forces targeting Iran for the 11th straight night. And Iran retaliating once again, launching missiles and drones towards U.S. bases throughout the region. While on Capitol Hill, Secretary Pete Hegseth was defending the administration request for $67 billion to fund the war.
You are asking for unlimited money for bombs when people can't feed their families. And I don't know how this administration intends to defend those decisions to the American people.
Not unlimited bombs, Senator. I'm asking for the right bombs at the right time to ensure we can deter our adversaries into the future.
And at the White House, our Mary Bruce pressing President Trump about what comes next.
Mr. President, there are no signs that Iran is ready to stop fighting. So what is the plan? Is the plan to just keep bombing until they give up?
There are no signs. Why, do you know something that I don't know?
Well, they continue to attack our allies and kill Americans.
Trump insisting that the Iranians want to meet, something he has said many times before.
I will tell you, they want to desperately meet. And until they're ready to meet in a meaningful way, we have no interest.
18 service members have now died in this conflict, including those 4 killed since Friday. This morning, the Pentagon identifying the 4th soldier who died in the last week. She is 28-year-old Sergeant Angel Rampersad of Ozone Park, New York. The youngest killed was 19-year-old Isabella Gonzalez from Texas. Her high school friends shocked.
Having to look at photos, all the good memories. It's just, I can't even put it into words. How heartbreaking it is to get the news that my really good friend, she's not here anymore. And I didn't even get to see her. I didn't even get to say bye.
And the wife of 30-year-old Sergeant Michael Swinton of North Carolina telling ABC News he was an amazing husband and father to his 2 young children. The father of 25-year-old First Lieutenant Tyler Feehan tells ABC, "Our hearts are shattered," calling his son and the others who were killed our heroes. Martha Raddatz, ABC News.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has dismissed that country's top army general. The move to fire Army Commander-in-Chief Alexander Syrsky comes just days after the removal of a popular defense minister. It's triggered protests right across the country. Zelensky has named a young Major General the new Commander-in-Chief. This marks the biggest shakeup in Ukraine's military leadership since the beginning of the war with Russia. Closer to home in British Columbia, new evacuation orders have been issued for a wildfire burning south of Boston Bar.
There's open flames up on this side, right around Anderson Creek.
The order covers Boston Bar First Nation, North Bend, and Canyon Alpine. Anyone remaining in the area, which has been under evacuation order, is being told to get out. The new wildfire is part of the Brunswick Wildfire Complex. There are also new evacuation orders for people living in Hell's Gate, just south of Boston Bar. People being told to pack up and get out. Highway 1 remains closed due to wildfire. A man is facing charges after a City of Saskatoon truck was stolen. Saskatoon police say the vehicle was taken Monday afternoon near Ontario Avenue and 36th Street East. Officers tracked the vehicle and found it outside city limits on Beam Road. The services plane began following it from the sky. At one point, the driver got out of the truck and tried to make a run for it, but he was unsuccessful. The 44-year-old is now facing a charge of dangerous driving and theft of a motor vehicle. A fire investigator is looking into a house fire in the Pleasant Hill neighborhood. Crews were called to this house in the 200 block of Avenue L South just before 11 o'clock yesterday morning. No one was inside during the fire and no injuries reported. The cause now under investigation. A recent agreement between the federal, provincial, territorial agriculture ministers will allow agriculture research to continue in Indian Head through a memorandum of understanding. Opportunities to explore new approaches at the Scott Research Farm in Indian Head will continue. Prior to that agreement, Ag and Agri-Food Canada mentioned closing the Saskatchewan sites. The research facility employs hundreds in town, and they say it would be a huge loss if it closed.
They realize the importance in agricultural study science. So it's a big thank you to them for stepping up and helping with keeping our research farm open and staying competitive in the market.
Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada is the country's largest agricultural research network with 17 sites across the country. A 16-year-old Saskatoon golfer has etched her name into Saskatchewan golf history, joining her mother as the first mother-daughter duo to win the Saskatchewan Amateur Women's Championship. Stacey Hine reports.
It's been a summer of big swings and even bigger results for Grace Odnicon, who's captured 3 provincial golf titles in just 2 weeks. After winning the Under-19 and Under-17 championships, she claimed the Saskatchewan Amateur Women's Championship last Thursday.
I struggled a lot in the front 9 the last day, so I came back on the back, and it felt really good to win.
The victory puts her alongside her mother, Carla Odnicon, who won the provincial amateur title in 2018. The two became the first mother-daughter duo to win the championship. Grace says sharing a place on the trophy with her mother has been a long-time goal.
The Golf Sask guy has been asking me about this since I was 10 years old, and it feels great to finally do it.
With her mother by her side as caddy, the moment was made even more special.
It was really exciting. I think Mom maybe at times was more nervous than she was, but she played really well, and I just tried to keep her calm and keep moving her forward, and I think it worked.
Carla Odnicon brings plenty of experience to the bag. She played NCAA golf at the University of Nebraska at Kearney, won several collegiate tournaments, and was inducted to the university's Athletics Hall of Fame in 2012. She also believes her daughter has surpassed her.
She is better than I was, so that's exciting. It's great to watch.
Over the past year, Grace has continued to develop her game.
I'm a lot more confident with it now, and I'm able to get it a lot closer to the hole.
She continues to work on her strength and conditioning, so she's able to hit the ball a long way, a lot further than me.
Now, the mother-daughter duo is in Mississauga, Ontario, where Grace will look to carry that momentum into the Canadian Women's Amateur Championship, with her mother back on the bag as caddy. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
What do they say, a bad day on the course is better than a good day in the office?
Hey, I mean, our days in the office are pretty good.
I like that. I like to hear that. What's going on in the weather picture?
All right. Well, we're talking about conditions pretty similar to yesterday when we're talking about nice temperatures above the seasonal average, a bit of smoke in the air, though, and very low wind speeds. Temperatures are starting to warm up now. We're at 14 to wake you up in Regina. Winds coming in at 6 kilometers per hour with that mix of sun and cloud. And again, a little bit of haze in the air. 16 degrees in Saskatoon. Again, a mix of sun and cloud and very calm winds to start the day. Current temperatures now across the province. We're still seeing only about 12 degrees in Stony Rapids. An improvement, though, through La Ronge and Buffalo Narrows at 17 degrees, 18 in Nipawin now, and 17 in Melfort. Down in the south, 15 degrees in the Battlefords, Kindersley, and Swift Current, 14 in East End, Assiniboia, and Estevan, and 18 degrees right now in Wynyard and Yorkton. So not a bad start to the day. Into the afternoon, though, we are going to be seeing the heat returning, not quite into those 30-degree temps that we're going to be seeing for the coming days, but it is still going to be above that average today. You do see that rain and risk of thunderstorm icon right around the Battlefords and Prince Albert. Saskatoon could also be included in that now, but it's not going to be in the early afternoon. That's just going to be that mix of sun and cloud that you're seeing on the screen. Into the later parts of the day, late afternoon, early evening, that's when Saskatoon could be seeing that rain and risk of thunderstorms. Again, though, before that, temperatures really nice today. 28 degrees for Swift Current, 29 in Moose Jaw, 28 for Regina, 27 in Saskatoon, and 27 degrees for Yorkton and Estevan. Here's a look at the rain that is expected. So by 4 p.m. today, we're only seeing 1 millimeter currently expected for right around the Battlefords. That's where that system is going to start moving its way in. Here's how those numbers jump by the end of the day today. This is by 11:30 p.m. Saskatoon will be seeing about 14 millimeters of rain and 4 millimeters for Prince Albert. Down south, we're looking pretty clear from that precipitation or any large accumulations of it. But again, Saskatoon, though, be ready for that for the last part of your day today. Regina, mix of sun and cloud for your early afternoon tomorrow into the evenings, a risk of some thunderstorms, and it's going to be hot starting tomorrow. 32 degrees tomorrow, 30 on Friday, up to 35 degrees currently projected on Saturday, 33 on Sunday, 30 degrees by Monday, and 29 on Tuesday. In Saskatoon, 30 degrees tomorrow. Again, mix of sun and cloud in the afternoon, risk of some thunderstorms into the evening hours. 28 degrees by Friday, up to 33 with that sunshine on Saturday, and chance of some rain moving in for Sunday and Monday. 29 degrees on Sunday, 27 on Monday.
Attention travelers, a lot of talk right now from a potential WestJet attendance strike to travel numbers to jet fuel prices. Lots going on. James Bogus is the CEO of the Regina Airport Authority in studio with us. Thank you so much for spending some time.
Oh, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Let's start with the fears that are created by the potential of a WestJet flight attendance strike. What are some of the things we can do to mitigate, or how should we be preparing for this?
Well, we're obviously watching that very closely at the Regina Airport. And Daryl, as you know, there's been some labor disruptions in the past couple of years, which can be very impactful on travel. My best advice, on top of watching the news, of course, to keep an eye on what's going on, is if you are traveling, make sure you've signed up with your email address and obviously cell phone number, so that way the airline can get a hold of you in the event if there's a travel disruption. We'll obviously communicate that as well to the public through our social media channels, but right now it's basically wait and see and hope that we don't have a disruption during what is a very busy summer at the Regina Airport.
Yeah, about August 2nd or so we should have some more clarity. Jet fuel prices continue to fluctuate. Is this getting passed on to consumers, and how do we find the best deal?
So we've seen some increases in ticket prices, no doubt, as a result of the jet fuel, but we're still seeing airlines putting out a lot of sales this summer, both Air Canada and WestJet. And what I'd recommend to the viewers is to make sure that they sign up for their mailing lists. That way you're informed when there's a promo code, a discount. WestJet's even running one right now on a kind of a winter sale deal. Yeah. So you want to really keep an eye out for those to get your best price on tickets. But at the end of the day, when the fuel goes up, the ticket prices also go up accordingly.
People are still traveling. Your June numbers are out and they look pretty good.
They're incredible. You know, despite everything we've been hearing about, including fuel prices, we saw an 8.3% year-over-year increase in passenger volumes in June. Couldn't believe that. unbelievable. 4 consecutive months now at the Regina Airport, we've seen passenger growth. We're pretty excited.
And you're renovating to try to keep up with that growth. We're seeing older pictures on our screen from your facility. We're going to have to update these real soon.
We are. Right now, our big project is we're upgrading the second floor. So this is the area you wait for your plane near gates 6, 7, and 8. That's right by the 306 Bistro and Bar. We're infilling some space, basically meaning we're creating more floor space for lineups for those big planes, and also going to put in some new seating. Very excited to have that. Customers are going to love the room for you and your family.
You also put in a play place up there, a place for your dog to enjoy it. I know Chad from The Wolf always bugs me at the Paragon Awards that was put in specifically for me. But you're really keeping a focus on trying to keep people entertained while they're waiting.
We really are. You know, on top of course, wonderful food concessions, we've got really fast Wi-Fi. It's all about showing love to our passengers. We know that the travel experience can be stressful, and we want to make sure that families enjoy the Regina Airport when they're waiting for their plane.
Are there ways for people out there to give feedback on the renovations and everything else that you guys do?
Well, right now is a perfect time. We're actually undergoing what's called our master plan process. So basically every 10 years, we go out and we figure out what we're going to do for the next 10-year period. And right now we've got public consultation open. If you go to yqr.ca, there's a link on the top of our front page, kind of these big ads that run. Click the link. Please give us your feedback. We really want to make sure we meet the needs of the community, and we want to hear directly from your community through that feedback page.
That's nice to have a master plan, something to build off of, but how do you project 10 years from now? Everything changes day by day.
Well, we hire some good people to help, I'll tell you that, and they help us forecast future passenger growth. Okay. You know, I've been in the industry about 25 years, and Regina has got all the right ingredients for growth. Growing population, a strong economy, and we want to see that continue to help the Regina Airport grow.
25 years. He started when he was 15. Before we let you go, you're putting on a different hat this weekend for a fundraiser. Tell us about that.
We sure are. If you have a chance, please drop by the Excalibur Cat Cafe on Saturday. I will be there myself.
With all 37 of his cats.
Yeah, that's right. And they're actually going to be raising some money for a wonderful charity, Scraps and Moose Jaw, to be able to help cats out. We're going to be selling a lot of goods, and we'd love to see you there, and we can hopefully sell you a few things while you're at the charity event.
And you maybe take them on a plane. YQR.ca is the website for everything in that master plan that we talked about. James, thank you.
Thanks so much, Gerald.
Here's what's happening in our community. The Sedley Car Show and Summer Bash is on July 25th at 11 a.m. at the Sedley Gym Hall. Call 306-631-5754. The Strawberry Rhubarb Jam Sale is on July 25th at 10 a.m. at 2425 Park Street. Call 306-737-2938. The Collectors Car Club Cruise and Shine is on July 26th at 10 a.m. at 4500 Wascana Parkway. Visit collectorscarclub.com for details. And a horse riding day camp is on July 28th at GCJ Stables on Foxley Road. Visit gcjstables.com. Submit your event to our community by visiting our website, ctvregina.ca, and click Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen.
Nikki Reyes with you inside the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. For that, we'll head over to tennis in Portugal. The round of 32, Orlando Luz with an incredible backhand slice with crazy spin that Nuno Borges can't get loose. Loses in straight sets, but he got your must-see moment from Tuesday. Tonight, we got the MLS on TSN as Toronto FC takes on the New England Revolution. It all starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on TSN 4. That's all from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
It is time to paddle back over to the Wascana Racing Canoe Club and see what else Janelle Lippi is getting up to.
Good morning. As promised, we will be getting out on Wascana a little bit later on this morning. But before we do that, we need to talk all things safety. Very important. And Nick is here to talk us through it. Nick, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So you've got a life jacket here in your hands, which is a key element to getting out on that water and enjoying some fun, safe time out there. Talk me through some of the safety precautions that you guys take.
Yeah, so really just first making sure the life jacket is big enough for you. Once you know that it is, it's just a matter of getting all the straps tight enough, especially these ones on the side. These ones on the top don't matter so much. And then, yeah, just when you put it on, make sure you get all buckles done up. I can show right here. Yeah, you can do bottom buckle, and we can get the zipper going up. Yeah.
Perfect. Nice and safe. So for those who are watching who do want to be a part of all of this fun, do you guys provide these tools, the life jackets, everything involved, or do they have to bring their own?
Yeah, so we provide pretty much everything you need. The only thing is maybe just bring a water bottle, but life jackets, paddles, boats, all that kind of stuff we provide.
All right, so especially on those hot and humid days, make sure that you do bring those water bottles and, of course, some sunscreen. Now, if someone's looking for a little bit more information, where can they go?
Yeah, so you can go to our website. But you just look up the Wascana Racing Canoe Club online. It should pop up, should be the first thing there. All our programs are on that website, so yeah.
All right. Well, as promised, of course, once again, we will be getting out on that water. I'm going to practice my rowing here while we wait. I'll see you in about an hour.
It's July 22nd, and we have just one milestone to share with you today. It's a big happy birthday going out to Emerson. She's turning 4 years old. We hope it's a great day for you with lots of love from your mom, dad, Boston, and your puppies.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
All right, we're ready for that question, Big Dog.
All right, let's roll. For a chance to play for a couple pair of passes to the Queen City Ecstasy Dallas Smith next Saturday. Here it is. You can text at 54321. Humans are the only known species to do this, and it can't be faked. However, we spend over $70 million a year to mimic it. And aren't we fun, humans? Again, humans are the only known species to do this, and it can't be faked, even though we spend a lot of money to recreate this. So right now, Daryl and Kayleen, Kayleen got the Monday one correct. Daryl got yesterday's correct,
yeah.
So let's see if you guys can.
Up until the mimic part, I was going to say drink milk because no other animal drinks milk of another species. You're looking at me very confused.
A lot of animals drink milk.
No.
Sass Milk, by the way.
Sass Milk, yeah. Sponsored by wherever that is.
Yeah.
Got us. We're not going to Dallas Smith, I guess.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Keep it coming. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye, guys.
We were playing, and then the world started changing.
The studio behind the blockbuster Toy Story 5 is being hit by layoffs. Variety, The Hollywood Reporter, and other industry outlets report Disney is cutting hundreds of jobs, with Pixar being especially hard hit. Other Disney departments facing cutbacks include ESPN and National Geographic.
What are you going to do?
Full disclosure to the whole world. The Truth is Coming Home. Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day is out now on digital platforms and lands on 4K, Blu-ray, and DVD on August 25th, with extras including an in-depth look at the making of the film and a tribute to Spielberg's 30th collaboration with iconic composer John Williams.
Well, the director told me to do it, and when the camera's on me, I just kind of imagined what Kong would do or what he would look like.
Young actress Kaylee Hoddle has died in a car crash. Her father announced the news on Facebook, as did the Texas School for the Deaf, where Hoddle was a senior. She was known for her roles in Godzilla vs. Kong and Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. Kaylee Hoddle was 18. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All right, well, little brothers will appreciate this one. So this big brother got his little brother a lightsaber for a gift, and needless to say, the first thing little brother did was smack him with the sword.
Whacked him with it. I think they were expecting
Saw
this.
the opportunity for a receipt, maybe.
The way this camera was pointed, I think he planned this attack.
Hey, I'm the youngest sibling of 4, and I got into some shenanigans.
No, not you. Never you.
me.
Never. Poor, sweet, innocent you. She absolutely did. Frozen drinks are a great way to beat the heat, even if you're pets. I'll have 2 Duckaritas, bartender. Put them on my bill.
You know, you said to put them on my bill one last hour, and you're using the old content.
Can't help it. It's quacktastic.
Quacktastic.
Yeah. Did I ruffle your feathers?
Can we go to break early?
Ruffles. My feathers are ruffled.
Your feathers are always ruffled. We're back after this. Welcome to Wednesday, July 22nd.
We will look at all options in terms of how we would respond if they do come into effect.
Ottawa has less than a month to figure out how to respond and possibly avoid punishing new U.S. tariffs.
So it wasn't maybe as gradual as we typically see it. Everybody was needing to get out there and do the work to maintain the schedule, so it all started kind of, I think, all at once. But we have a lot of work in a short construction season, so we're pretty much everywhere throughout the entire city.
Busy construction season everywhere, but we're going to give you an update from Hallie Mandrick in Saskatoon.
It was a lot of fun. We got spoiled. We got stuff that not many kids could get to do, and it was just a fun experience to remember for a lifetime.
2 Alberta girls given the opportunity to experience life as an RCMP commanding officer. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Wednesday.
If you haven't had the chance to do so, go to Depot and check it out. It's really cool. The Heritage Centre does a fabulous job, and the kids get to put on those jackets, not just in special circumstances.
Hey, not just kids. I took my grandma there last summer, and she was wearing them. So
they just had their last sunset ceremony last night, so you have to wait till next year. They're fabulous as well.
Yeah,
they do a wonderful
absolutely.
job. Great temperatures for that. We'll get into Kayleen's forecast in just a minute. First, we're going to talk U.S. tariffs, because tariffs my favorite word to say. I don't know about you. Canada and the U.S. have fewer than 30 days to talk trade before those new 50% tariffs kick in.
I spoke with President Trump earlier this morning. We agreed to intensify negotiations in the coming weeks.
Their leadership, from Trudeau to the current leadership, I mean, in all fairness to them, they need us to survive.
The new tariffs will affect about $28 billion worth of Canadian annual exports. These tariffs are due to take effect on August 19th. Officials on both sides are in contact, but they have not started formal talks. As for now and how Canada will respond, the government says they'll take the next steps. They'll talk about it with the premiers and the Advisory Committee on Canada-U.S. Economic Relations. The Prime Minister says he's not ruling out concessions or retaliation. Wayne Mantika now with the impact to Saskatchewan business.
A lot of damage has been.
The newest American 50% tariff impacts a broad range of Canadian manufactured goods, from wine to hockey sticks.
We need to stand up to the bully, and we need to hit him tariff to tariff.
There is not a chance in hell that U.S. alcohol is going back on the shelf.
Trump was angered by declining auto exports to Canada and removal of alcohol from store shelves in all provinces except Alberta and Saskatchewan. Premier Scott Moe prefers a tempered response.
At the end of the day, why would you want to fight with your largest trading partner?
Saskatchewan's NDP is urging Moe to stick with the group.
You know, this is a time where Canada and the provinces should be united, and this is where Saskatchewan and Alberta are offside.
Emma Crow-Snow works as a shipper for a small Regina wood products manufacturer. She is following the ever-changing tariff landscape.
It was a
good few days of just reading and learning and going over so many different government sites and web pages and documents.
The latest tariffs have forced her employer, Sticks and Doodles, to stop shipping to American customers.
Wood ornaments, it was a bit of a shock to see them on a list next to hockey skates and cement and all kinds of things. And so, we have to make adjustments.
There may be some disagreement among premiers on how to deal with Trump tariffs, but the focus of this week's meeting will be on building a united front. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
The federal and provincial governments are exploring ways to continue agricultural activities at Indian Head and Scott Research Farms. Both facilities were set for closure. Sierra D'Souza Butts has the details.
3 generations of Stephen Cole's family has worked at the research farms in Indian Head.
I had a dad there that worked for 38 years. I had a grandpa that worked there for 30 years. I had an uncle that worked there for, I think it was 28 years. And then I had another uncle that was there. So we got close to 140 years probably into the research farm ourselves.
Earlier this year, Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada slated both Indian Head and the Scott Research Farm near Wilkie for closure, creating major questions for the communities they're based near.
A lot of concerns. I mean, it was where families, where employees were going to go, what were they going to do for employment that they've lost, what was going to happen to the research farm after it closed.
But a new agreement will keep both farms operating into the future under the oversight of the provincial government.
This was months of hard work to get local community engagement, to raise the awareness of this on a national level.
The federal opposition, province, and the Indian Head community all agree the research farm allows Saskatchewan to stay competitive in the ag market.
The local community was engaged to try to save this site and the jobs that come with it and the benefits to the agricultural sector. So we had roundtables, we had petition drives.
The MOU really does assure that the 2 facilities will be remaining open.
Cole says without support from the provincial government and Member of Parliament Andrew Scheer, the community would be at a loss.
They realize the importance in agricultural study science. So it's a big thank you to them for stepping up and helping with keeping our research farm open and staying competitive in the market.
Merritt adds discussions on the property's value and operation costs are still being discussed, with plans to have a more solid timeline for the takeover in place by fall. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Indian Head.
Jeremy, there's a new plan to talk homelessness?
Yeah, in Saskatoon, Darryl, city letting community partners lead the way. A city committee approved the Saskatoon Homelessness Action Plan, aims to provide a coordinated approach to addressing homelessness. Now, much of the plan is about increasing the affordable housing supply, addressing barriers, and encouraging community collaboration. But much of the conversation was about the lack of data, with the city relying on a point-in-time count, which only shows the number of homeless people in the city on that particular day.
2012, 2014, 2016, and 2025. Saskatoon's homelessness action plans have never changed, and they have not produced measurable results. We have by-name data, but it is not sufficient enough to qualify what the needs are.
The last point-in-time count showed 1,931 people living on the street. As part of Tuesday's vote, city administration will report back on options for a more comprehensive data framework to work with. An overdose alert's been issued for Saskatoon again, following an increase in calls to the Saskatoon Fire Department. The Ministry of Health says Saskatoon firefighters responded to 90 calls for service between Friday and Monday. In addition to the escalation in cases, the department is also seeing patients needing more help. That has included administering multiple doses of naloxone, performing CPR, and providing ventilation. The ministry says an unknown substance is circulating in the Saskatoon area, causing a higher risk of overdose. Fentanyl or other opioids may be mixed into the drugs. Well, Darryl, as part of pre-game ceremonies on Thursday, your Saskatchewan Rough Riders will honor 22-year-old Bishima Rayaguru along with Jaden Dalkey.
Yeah, that's right. This is the team tries to put their focus back on football after the week's difficult events. They face the Edmonton Elks for the first time this season on Thursday, and that means the defense will be trying to limit the Edmonton running back who's become a star performer this season, Jacob Carr, with more on the football part of this game.
Slips this one out. Rankin trying to get there on second in a couple. He'll get it all! Touchdown, Justin Rankin!
CFL fans have been seeing a lot of magic from Justin Rankin this season. The Edmonton running back currently leads the league in rushing touchdowns with 6 and is just 2 yards behind Calgary's Dedrick Mills for the rushing yardage lead. None of this success comes as a surprise to Rider head coach Corey Mace, who faces the question of how to contain Rankin this week.
When Rankin first came in the league, even when he wasn't, getting all the stardom that he has now, those were some long film sessions trying to figure that same question out.
And those on the field tasked with stopping the dynamic Elks running back, like linebacker Josh Woods, say they have seen a leap in Rankin's game this season.
I see a lot of confidence. I mean, it's almost like video game to him. The moves he's making, the cuts, the confidence that he's showing. He's really taking a step this year.
Saskatchewan's defensive line will also have a say in limiting Rankin's productivity on Thursday. Some saying the mixture of Rankin's talent and a unique Edmonton run scheme will pose a formidable challenge.
A lot of different looks with extra guys outside the tackles, extra guys coming in behind the tackles. So I think it's hard to tell exactly what you're going to get with him, and I think it helps him get bigger holes.
Along with Rankin, the Riders will also have their hands full with the likes of quarterback Cody Fajardo and receiver Alex Mack, who built up solid chemistry and familiarity during their time in Montreal.
There's a reason Cody wanted him there, almost like an emergency blanket. There's a lot of times where stuff's going on and he's going to try to find him. That's his boy.
The winner of this early season battle will have sole possession of first place in the West Division. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Thursday night, how's it looking if you're going to sit on that east side of the stands that gets all that sun?
Well, here in Regina, not so bad, but up through Saskatoon could be seeing some of that rain later on into the afternoon. The morning view is looking a little bit hazy. It's brought to you by Stars Lottery, your ticket funds life-saving care across Saskatchewan. Temperature is not so bad now. We have been warming up in the past few minutes. We're now at 17 degrees in Regina. Mix of sun and cloud and winds coming in at 9 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, 19 degrees again, a mix of sun and cloud, low wind speeds to start the day. And again, similar to yesterday, we're going to be seeing low wind speeds throughout the rest of the day as well. Radar and satellite showing we did get some of that precipitation. This system was quite slow moving yesterday and into those overnight hours. We are seeing just a little bit of precipitation right now, but that's going to be increasing into the later parts of the day. Early afternoon in Saskatoon looking clear, mix of sun and cloud, but into the later parts of the day, late afternoon, early evening, risk of some thunderstorms and quite a bit of rain going to be coming in a very short amount of time. These systems coming today are going to be quicker moving than the one that we saw yesterday, especially this one that's coming in tomorrow, late afternoon, early evening. This one could be coming with some severe storms up north. It's going to be, again, quick moving into northern Manitoba with just a little bit of light sprinkling overnight tomorrow into Friday morning down south. Now, by 4:30 p.m. today, we're only seeing 1 millimeter for the Battlefords, but by midnight, take a look at how that number jumps for Saskatoon, up to about 14 millimeters of rain by the end of the day and about 4 millimeters expected for Prince Albert. Again, that is coming with a risk of some thunderstorms. Today's forecast with that, though, as we mentioned, Saskatoon in the early afternoon, it's going to be sunny, 27 degrees at that time, 29 for Moose Jaw this afternoon, 28 for Swift Current, 28 for Weyburn, 27 for Estevan and 27 for Yorkton. Also a nice day expected in Regina, 28 degrees, and it is going to be getting warmer for the coming days. Today's wind gusts, as mentioned, it's going to remain fairly low, only seeing those highest winds right around Yorkton, gusting up to about 30 kilometers per hour. So we're not too worried about those winds today. What we are going to be paying attention to still is that smoke in the air. The air quality statements have extended farther down south for the day today. Now they're concentrating right around Yorkton there, as you can see, in addition to the north. Also seeing those air quality statements in effect for northern Alberta and northern Manitoba, as well as some heat warnings in effect down south in Alberta. Those could be extending into Saskatchewan with the heat on the way for the coming days.
On this day, July 22nd, 1947, a nuclear research reactor was activated in Chalk River, Ontario. The facility shut down in 2018. July 22nd, 2013, Prince George, the first son of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and third in line to the British throne, was born at St. Mary's Hospital in London. And July 22nd, 1997, the second span of the Blue Water Bridge between Sarnia, Ontario and Port Huron, Michigan was opened.
A corn maze shaped like the old Winnipeg Jets logo has sprouted up in southwestern Manitoba.
Kind of demonstrate what technology can do in agriculture and really just have some fun with it. I mean, yeah, it's about yield and making the most of your crops, but sometimes it's just about having fun and showing some passion.
Check this out. Maize on a 30-acre field. They actually started planting back in the winter using their GPS-enabled planter. Team shared a photo of the maize on social media, giving a nod to the creation and to the Crave television series Letterkenny. They wrote, "Not my corn maze, not my farm, but there's a genuine work of art." Corn maze is for the public.
Thank you for reading that in an accent, too.
That was fantastic.
There is only one way.
That's a lot of real estate, but yeah, sometimes you gotta have some fun.
I like it.
All right.
Too soon for a maze. Like,
Yes.
That's a sign of fall.
I want to talk about corn mazes starting September 1st.
Maybe October 1st. Favorite cereal is what we're talking about in our question of the day.
Yeah, this one also made me giggle. They didn't send a name. They just sent Captain Crunch in capital letters with a bunch of H's. So that one made me laugh a little bit. Gary from Regina saying, when I was 12, I liked Muffets, no longer available. Pour hot water on them and then drain the hot water off. Then cold milk, some sugar. So tasty.
That sounds terrible, Gary.
Well, he had it down to a science, which I can appreciate.
Yeah.
Dawn saying frosted mini wheats, delicious. Mary saying it was and is Captain Crunch. It's gotta be, right?
Nobody said anything magically delicious today?
We did. We had Lucky Charms last hour.
Okay. I like the guy that was like, what are we, 12?
Yeah, who's eating cereal?
Who's eating that?
As an
Make me
adult?
some eggs. That's our question of the day. We'll be back with health news after this.
In some disease areas like oncology, it can mean a difference between life and death. A clinical trial is an opportunity for Canadians to access new innovative medicines, cutting-edge therapies and specialized care.
Pharmacist Bettina Hamlin of Innovative Medicines Canada worries that Canada's once leading role as a place to hold clinical trials is slipping.
And we're losing that competitiveness because other countries are really stepping up and attracting clinical trials into their jurisdictions.
That's despite Canada having top universities, renowned researchers, and excellent hospitals.
It takes on average 2 years for Canadians to then access that medicine. And so that time lapse is not very attractive for companies to invest in clinical trials in Canada because it takes so long to then actually bring the medicines to Canadians. Other countries, they make it available on the market as soon as the regulators have determined that a medicine is safe and effective.
Another factor that's come up is President Trump's call to give the U.S. most favored nation status.
They want to get the guaranteed lowest price of any country, and historically, Canadians have paid a lot less. So some companies may not want to launch a new medicine and set a low bar that may affect their market in the American market, for example.
Barry Stein knows the importance of access to clinical trials. He was diagnosed with colon cancer in 1995 and went through 2 clinical trials, one in California, one in Montreal.
What we believe is that we have to improve the way we do things in Canada to encourage investment in life sciences and ultimately in new products that patients can avail themselves of in Canada.
He says streamlining the process, such as Ontario has done with its FAST program, accelerating access to certain cancer drugs will help not only patients, but also the healthcare industry. And Hamlin says those skilled jobs and investment in medical research are a big part of Canada's economy. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
All right, let's say hello to our Mike Siono one last time this morning. And Mike, it looks like you found the big ticket items out at Ag in Motion.
Well, we're just bombing around Ag in Motion here this morning, and I run into Terry Siebert here at the Claus, I guess, spot or lot or booth, we might call it. Talk to me about, just first and foremost, being at this show here.
It's an amazing event, right? Customers want to come in, touch, feel, ride and drives, things like that, right? And this is kind of the place to do it. Outdoor show, sun, right? A few mosquitoes, hopefully not too many. Yeah, no, it's been a good show. Lots of foot traffic coming through the booth and stuff so far. So yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's been tough to buy bug spray in places, but probably not too tough to buy one of these. This is awesome. Just talk to me about what we're standing in front of.
Yeah, so we have our 8900 combine. So that's the biggest machine we have currently. So maximum horsepower, we're at 775 horsepower. And then we have our Convio 45-foot header on the front of it. Right?
Fantastic. And this is just kind of one that we picked because it looks the most impressive to us. But you guys have a wide array of stuff. Tell us about kind of the rest of the line.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have our four-wheel drive Xerion tractor here as well on tracks. We have an Arion with a front and loader on it for the cattle guys and whatnot. And then we have our 900 series forage harvester here as well.
That's fantastic. You just walk around here and you're just looking in awe at all of the different implements and machines and technologies. Truly, the future of farming lives right here at Ag in Motion. Runs right through until Thursday.
The American government is levying new tariffs. They say 50% August 19th, you've heard on this show, on several Canadian goods, including some covered by the free trade agreement. Now, the Saskatchewan Chamber of Commerce is urging our leaders to work harder to remove trade barriers in this country. Prabha Raswamy is the organization's CEO, joins us live via Zoom this morning. Prabha, thank you so much for doing this.
I can't hear you very well.
We'll do our best to make our way through, Prabha. Did you guys put out a memo yesterday urging provincial leaders to keep momentum on internal trade? What are you pushing for at this very moment?
Well, I mean, we are at a critical point in Canada's economy. Yesterday, President Trump announced another round of tariffs, which will have some impact on businesses in Saskatchewan. But I think we need to build economic resiliency, and one way of doing that is by tackling the internal trade barriers we have within Canada. The Chambers of the Federation, which is all the provincial chamber CEOs, met with premiers yesterday, calling on them to remove internal trade barriers, advance labor mobility, and create regulatory alignment. Unlocking internal trade barriers, according to the International Monetary Fund, can release another $210 billion to our economy. So our economy can grow by 7%. Right now, with the barriers we have in place, it's almost similar to having a 9% tariff.
My goodness, that's a pretty staggering number. We hear about alcohol a lot when we hear about this, right? Trading booze between different provinces. What are some of the other goods and services that are facing some sort of struggle getting their products from Saskatchewan to, say, Quebec or Ontario or all the way to BC?
Generally, it's a very complex situation, and we recognize that governments cannot do this overnight. But I think we're seeing a level of commitment to reduce these barriers in a way we've never seen in the last decade. Food and alcohol are very complex. And yesterday, the premiers, 9 provinces signed on to an agreement around DTC, which is direct to consumer alcohol sale. That is a significant milestone for our economy and for our country.
See the list on your screen of the tariffs that we could be facing, and some of those are some of the staples here in Saskatchewan. Just how impacted could our businesses be, and how resilient are we to meet this challenge?
So in this current, so first and foremost, our business have lived in an environment of uncertainty and a lack of predictability for a very long time. So our businesses have become resilient. Secondly, most of our businesses were exempt from tariffs because of the Canada-US-Mexico agreement. However, the recent round from yesterday circumvents the CUSMA agreement. And so there are businesses in our province that are now going to experience tariffs. But we understand the grand scheme of things, on a large scale, this is not going to be catastrophic in terms of the larger economy. But our businesses in wood manufacturing, in the honey business, and in dairy will experience the impact.
Continue to follow it along the way, Prabha. We should do this more often. Thank you for doing the program this morning.
Thank you.
8:30. Thank you for being with us. My name is Daryl. Detour signs are popping up in some areas of Saskatoon more and more all the time. City is making its way through construction season, and we are now learning more about what you can expect when you hit the road. And here's Hallie Mandrick with the latest.
Construction season is well underway throughout Saskatoon. Various roadwork projects like the University Bridge, College Drive, and portions of Circle Drive have become the norm for Saskatoon motorists and pedestrians.
The hospital has been a bit of a issue for me getting in and out of there and trying to get to my massage. So if I lived in this area, I would be very frustrated.
I haven't been getting out that much, just kind of staying in my little space for now. Really, it's just getting caught in traffic is the big problem.
According to the city, a delayed start due to weather has resulted in a busier than normal construction season.
It wasn't maybe as gradual as we typically see it. Everybody was needing to get out there and do the work to maintain the schedule, so it all started kind of, I think, all at once. But we have a lot of work in a short construction season, so we're pretty much everywhere throughout the entire city.
The city recently announced that the University Bridge construction has been delayed to ensure that emergency vehicles have consistent access to Royal University Hospital and Jim Pattison Children's Hospital. The road is currently only open to emergency vehicles and will be open to the public once multiple lanes are available for traffic moving in each direction. In a statement to CTV News, Medavie Health Services, a local ambulance provider, said, quote, "We remain in regular contact with city officials to receive updates and coordinate with partners on alternative access plans as needed. Our zone-based deployment model allows us to adapt to changing circumstances, and we continue to operate safely and effectively with no impact to patient care." While the construction can be a source of frustration, many have come to accept the road work that comes along with Saskatchewan's warmer months.
I mean, it will get better, and hopefully it's going to be in better shape. So, I mean, we have to put up with it. The bridge is a hassle, but, you know, eventually that'll be fixed. So, you know, you can do what you do and use summer to the best you can.
Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
For the 11th straight night, the U.S. has targeted Iran, and the U.S. president is now threatening to hit an underground nuclear site.
We think that a nuclear-armed Iran is an unacceptable thing. It can't happen. And that's what they were going to do if they hid behind this conventional shield that they were building. And the president just was going to stand by and allow that to happen.
U.S. Central Command said the strikes in Iran were aimed at degrading Iran's ability to threaten commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian state media reported that air defenses were activated in the capital, Tehran, and explosions were also reported in several cities, including an area home to Iran's only nuclear power plant. Iran and the U.S. agreed to a ceasefire in April, but hostilities sparked up again last week as both countries battled for control of the strait. Meanwhile, Defense Secretary, or Secretary of War, as they call it, Pete Hegseth, Hegseth estimates the war has cost the U.S. $37.5 billion so far. He was grilled at Senate asking members of Congress for tens of billions of dollars more. The Senate Appropriations Committee is considering a more than $87 billion supplemental funding request. Hegseth has faced with protesters and grilled by lawmakers over why that money is needed so quickly. The U.S. president has approved a deal to share nuclear technology with Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia for years has been trying to get the Americans to agree to help them expand their nuclear program. That's raised some concerns because the Saudis have said that they wanted to enrich uranium.
The deal could lead to a uranium enrichment facility being built in Saudi Arabia. Reports say the agreement does not contain the usual safeguards that would prevent the kingdom from developing a nuclear weapon. Saudi Arabia's crown prince has long said if Iran builds a nuclear weapon, his country would do the same. President Trump will need Congress to approve that agreement. A new tool to help visually impaired people practice their guide dog skills before they're matched with a companion canine. This AI-enabled robotic dog was designed at Ontario Tech University. John Musselman reports.
His name is Brando. He doesn't bark and he doesn't bite, but he's a pretty good walker. An AI-enabled robot dog prototype created by students at Ontario Tech University in Oshawa.
The first part we can move by the remote, but now we use the AI to control it.
Brando was designed to help people with sight loss practice guide dog skills before being matched with a real canine companion. Dr. Patrick Hung is the lead researcher behind this project.
He or she has to wait for 3 to 5 years to get a real guide dog, okay? And even though like that, after the guide dog is ready, they have to train the person for another half year to either with the guide dog, and the person may never have any experience with a pet at home at all. So that's why we believe that the AI and robotics can play a role. Instead of replace the job of a guide dog, is to help to assist the entire training process.
Developers say Brando can help build confidence for users. Students are working to make it feel real, adding fur, eyes, and ears that move.
Although, yeah, it's a robot, but you want it to still feel like real, and people can actually feel more comfortable touching it.
Similar AI robot dogs have been introduced in some U.S. states where they are being deployed in long-term care homes. They offer support to patients living with dementia. Back here at home, the goal is similar.
We want to do more community engagement programs, such as with CNIB, Canadian Institute for the Blind, so that we can do more user testing to see how people really use that, and we want to see whether to add more functions.
Robot guide dogs could be integrated into the guide dog training program within the next 2 to 3 years. John Musselman, CTV News in Oshawa.
This next story is proof of the power of social media. When a small stuffed donkey was left on board a BC ferry last week, the crew was determined to find its owner. Their posts featuring the bright pink stuffy went viral, and now a 5-year-old Victoria boy is about to be reunited with his precious gift. Here's Shannon Patterson.
For 5 days, Churro the burro has been a maritime adventurer aboard the Salish Raven, the BC ferry that runs between Swartz Bay and the Southern Gulf Islands.
He was left on board on Thursday, the 16th. One of my crew members brought him to the office, and of course we make announcements. We didn't find anyone.
So the crew posted about the bright pink stuffed donkey on BC Ferry's social media channels.
It just blew up from there. It was amazing.
The posts have been viewed more than 1.8 million times. The name Churro the burro came from the comment section, where users couldn't get enough of the little guy's onboard exploits.
He went all over the ship. We didn't leave him out of anything. We took him into the crew mess. We took him up to our ECR, our engine control room. We took him to the bridge, of course. He sat in the captain's chair, of course.
While the crew had fun showing Churro around, their real goal was finding his owner.
We have so many things that are left daily on board, but we do try to reunite people with as much as we can and as quickly as we can, and especially these cherished little stuffies for the little kids. Once we could find the owner, we wanted to be able to show them how much fun Churro had on board and that he wasn't sad while he was away from his owner.
Thanks to the power of social media, on Monday, they found him.
The little boy who owns Churro actually is called Alfie. He's 5 years old. And his nana came back from Mexico with Churro for Alfie and, of course, another unicorn for his sister Ronan.
On Wednesday, the family will be welcomed on board the Salish Raven to be reunited with Churro.
Alfie and his sister and his mom will be getting a tour of the vessel as well. So we'll take them around and show them all the same places that Churro got to see.
While his maritime adventure is almost over,
Churro's still on board. He's being well cared for. He's well fed. He has an employee ID. He's very excited to be reunited.
Shannon Patterson, CTV News.
Burrow is just a great name.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like that. What was that seal's name out in?
Neil the Seal.
Neil the Seal. See, they got to have some alliteration. That makes sense.
When the name of, what was it that you loved? The raccoon yesterday. Jimothy.
Oh, yeah, Jimothy. I need an update on Jimothy's stats.
Okay, go look at that. I'm going to talk about the weather. It's a nice, bright and sunny start to the day in Regina. Just a little bit of smoke in the air still, though. 17 degrees now. Winds coming in at 9 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, we're at 19 degrees now. Again, mix of sun and cloud. Just a little bit of smoke, winds coming in at 9 kilometers per hour. And again, those winds not really going to be bothering you today. We're seeing the highest gusts right around Yorkton today. Still not really going to be surpassing 30 kilometers per hour. So it's going to be a very calm day to start before the precipitation moves in for the later part of the day and into our evening. In terms of current temperatures now, we're at 14 degrees in Stony Rapids, 18 in Buffalo Narrows, and 19 degrees in La Ronge and South End. Joining them at 19 degrees, Nipawin and Melfort. Down in the south, 19 in Yorkton and Moose Jaw, 18 degrees in Swift Current, 17 degrees in Assiniboia now, and 18 degrees in Estevan. Into the afternoon today, we are seeing some areas up north and into central Saskatchewan where we're going to be seeing just a little bit of light precipitation, 27 degrees for Prince Albert. Again, that could be later on in the day. Earlier on, could still be seeing some of that sunshine. 28 for the Battlefords, 27 in Saskatoon. Those are still cities where we could be seeing some of that late afternoon, early evening rain. 27 degrees for Yorkton, 28 in Regina, 29 for Moose Jaw, and 28 degrees for Swift Current. Down south, we're looking a little more safe from that rain today. Not tomorrow, though. Early afternoon, mix of sun and cloud for our Thursday tomorrow. However, later on in the day, chance of rain, risk of thunderstorms. 32 degrees, though, so the heat is on the way officially starting tomorrow. 30 degrees on Friday, 35 on Saturday. Right now, we're seeing nothing but sunshine. 33 on Sunday, 30 degrees by Monday, and 29 degrees by Tuesday. So the 7-day forecast is looking very hot. In Saskatoon, again, mix of sun and cloud for the early day tomorrow, but we do see chance of rain, risk of thunderstorms rolling through for the later part of the day. 30 degrees in the afternoon, though, 28 on Friday and 33 on Saturday. That is really the day that we're seeing most of that heat peaking for a lot of places in the province. A lot of sunshine on that day with more rain on the way on Sunday afternoon, 29 degrees, 27 on Monday. Again, chance of some light rain, and 28 degrees by Tuesday with that mix of sun and cloud.
Let's check in with Janelle Lippi once more out at the Wascana Racing Canoe Club. I am sure she's really enjoying her time out on the water this morning.
Might be looking at me and thinking, why are you so glowy and geared up, Janelle? And the answer to that is because I am sweating profusely. We just got off of the water. We had a ton of fun, and now Magnus is here to tell us all about it. Magnus, what did we get up to?
So first of all, we grabbed our safety gear, or our life jacket. Then we grabbed our paddle and boat. We brought it down to the dock, and then we talked about some basics of the stroke, forward and backward. And then we got into our boat, went for a spin, and had a race.
And during that race, as you can see, I did unfortunately lose. It was a close call, I would say, though. Magnus, what advice would you give me to speed things up a little bit?
Just get the paddle out of the water fast and get it back in fast.
And that is the hardest part for me. It does take a ton of concentration. How long have you been doing this for?
8 years now.
8 years, and you did show us some cool tricks as well. What did you do?
I just stood up on one foot, just pretty simply, like that, yeah.
All right, and of course we are wearing these life jackets. What is provided when you do get out here on the water?
Your life jacket, the skills, the paddle, the boat. pretty much everything you'll need.
Everything you'll need. All right. Well, this is a really great way to spend the summer. Now, over this 8 years, Magnus, what has your favorite part been?
Definitely the paddling, I think.
Yeah.
Learning how to paddle the boat and stay steady. And then there's a lot of fun in the summer. You can go swimming and just try different tricks, like I was saying. Yep.
All right. Well, surprisingly enough, I actually didn't end up going for a swim, which I'm pretty proud of, and I will be riding that high for the foreseeable future. Magnus, thanks so much for being with me this morning. All right, well, that does wrap things up. Once again, make sure you are bringing your water, your sunscreen, and of course, everything else here is provided for all of the fun this summer.
Thank you very much, Janelle. Well, tens of thousands of people are expected to make their way just west of Langham this week for Ag in Motion. It is one of the largest outdoor agricultural trade shows in the country. From the latest farm equipment to cutting-edge technology, the event has become a one-stop shop for producers looking to see what's next in agriculture. Carla Shinkaruk reports.
The gates are now open for the first day of Ag in Motion near Langham, and over 30,000 producers, industry leaders, and visitors are expected to walk the grounds over the next few days.
When we first started the show, we had 190 exhibitors and 10 food trucks, and now we have over 600 exhibitors plus several dozen food trucks.
While the massive farm machinery always draws a crowd, one of the busiest areas this year is all about drone technology.
Drones can be used for literally hundreds of uses. We used to do a presentation called 101 Uses for Drones. We've gone way past the 101. Every farmer finds a different use for a drone.
They're used for everything from monitoring field conditions to spraying, bug treatments, and more. Weber says a big reason for the growing interest is recent provincial and federal changes to drone licensing.
In Alberta and Saskatchewan, we have that available, so you can get an RPAS pesticide applicator certificate now, and that is necessary if you're going to spray someone else's field. If you're spraying your own field, you still need to be licensed to fly the drone in the first place because it's so large.
It's not just new tech turning heads here either. One company is showcasing a new variety of wheat. So this Saskatchewan company creates a wheat that is midge tolerant to help with those insects. And it also makes one variety that caters to the protein trend.
AAC Walsh is a newer CWRS variety that we're bringing to market. If you're looking for that protein bump, it's definitely a variety that you can look at.
This vast show boasts exhibitors and visitors from across Canada and around the world, including Mexico, the United States, and Morocco. Ag in Motion continues through Thursday. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, near Langham.
The riders have played in front of some big crowds on Labor Day, but none have been bigger than in 2013, when 44,910 packed Taylor Field to watch the Green Machine take on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Saskatchewan was hosting the Grey Cup that year, so that's why they had some extra seats set up for fans. On that day, quarterback Darian Durant, along with running back Corey Sheets, lit it up as Durant passed for over 300 yards and Sheets carried the rock for 91 yards and 2 touchdowns. Saskatchewan went on to win that game 48-25. It was celebration in Riderville. Of course, the only win for the Riders bigger than that one in 2013 was the Grey Cup game played in November. And if you want to check out more classic sports moments from the days of Wilco and Wood Finish televisions, you can check them out on our website.
Greetings, everyone. This month, 20 contestants will meet in Ontario to find out who will be the next Miss Indigenous Canada. The competition focuses on character, community service, and cultural involvement. 4 women from Saskatchewan will be making the trip, including one from the Chickasaws First Nation. Regina Delaclute brings us the story.
Kiana Cody stands in front of a sign honoring an advocate and long-serving chief of the Ojibwe First Nation. And just like Margaret Bear, this 27-year-old law student is set out to achieve great things.
My focus, especially running for Miss Indigenous Canada, is always about promoting philanthropy and charity and always giving back.
She was selected out of a roughly 100 applicants from across the country to represent her community at the 2026 Miss Indigenous Canada pageant.
Every time something comes out of her mouth, it's always good. It's not negative, and it's always, in the name of peace, in the name of sharing and getting along.
For Kiana, the pageant is about more than just beauty. As a final year law student at the University of Saskatchewan, it's a platform for her advocacy.
Bringing it to the platform of our important issues such as MMIWG and also like the high incarceration rates we have as First Nations people in our jails, and also helping reframe the narrative of justice.
Supporting her is Chickasaw First Nation, who are fighting their own legal battle for the right to be recognized as its own people.
There's leadership all over her, So, whatever she chooses, I'm sure she's going to be good at it. And whatever it is, she's going to put 100% into it. So God bless her.
Kiana says she'd like to stay in the area to represent her people in the justice system.
We have a saying in our family, it's not what the community can do for you, it's what you can do for your community. So it's really important for not only myself, but for my family members.
Having already raised $10,000 for a Winnipeg charity, she's got every chance to realize her goal. For Indigenous Circle, I'm Frujina Daklut.
If you have a story you would like to see in this segment, here's how to reach us. You can contact me by email, and you can also watch past episodes and segments of Indigenous Circle on our CTV Regina and CTV Saskatoon websites.
Indigenous Circle, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Indigenous Enterprise Foundation, growing the First Nation entrepreneurial spirit.
For so many of us who don't seem to have a green thumb, growing a garden or even just a houseplant is nothing short of a miracle.
But this morning, we're meeting a woman who's doing her own magic, both in gardening and across social media. Here's Danny New.
Hello, I'm Sarah, and I'm here to show you lily plants.
When folks online need gardening advice,
hello, I'm Sarah.
Many have come to expect it to first start with one big hello, spelled uniquely.
So I would say, hello, I'm Sarah. And then somebody in the comments said hello with a W.
Over the past year, Sarah Allday has been sharing her vegetables, fruits, and flowers with millions of her loyal fans on social media.
I'm here to show you my eggplant.
Many of whom this 24-year-old says have become quite protective of the garden at her family's Texas home. One commenter writing, "Sarah, I'd literally do anything to ensure your happiness."
They're very nice and supportive, and I'm so grateful for everyone, and a lot of them are really funny. They're like, we ride for Sarah till dawn.
Sarah, who has autism, has been gardening since she was 8 years old and says she knows many people at first think she's a teenager.
Does that bother you, or you just think it's funny?
I think it's funny. I like it. Then I can go trick-or-treating. Get free candy. So I'm going to harvest this one because it is ready.
But of course, Sarah is much older than many assume, and she's blown people away with her knowledge of growing practically anything.
What would be your 3 biggest tips for gardening?
Number 1 is to know your climate. Know what kind of pests attack your plant. If you have houseplants, most houseplants die from being overwatered.
And while she works on perfecting this garden, she says her main dream is to open her own farm. One thing helping her get there is selling these Hello t-shirts, hundreds of which have now been purchased by her loyal fans.
I was so grateful. Thank you. I hope they visit my farm.
Sarah plans to call her farm Shepherd's Farm, and she wants to make it a you-pick farm where you can come and you pay to pick from her fruits and vegetables to take home. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Christmas time in Studio East at poinsettias, and those were overwatered. We could use some tips.
We had them all overwatered because we all would drink half of a water bottle and then be like, we want fresh water today, so we would just dump it in the water
Also,
blends.
has anybody watered these today?
Yeah, here's the rest of my water bottles.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I can go get fresh water.
They showed well on TV, but they were very sad plants.
Yeah.
Two Alberta girls are given an exciting opportunity to become co-commanding officers at Depot for a day. Maya and Haley donning the red uniform of the Surge, participating in the Sergeant Major's Parade at Training Academy. The annual event is put on by Kids with Cancer Society, which allows teens and children who have been diagnosed with cancer to live out an RCMP dream experience.
It was a lot of fun. We got spoiled. We got stuff that not many kids could get to do, and it was just a fun experience to remember for a lifetime.
From Alberta, got to come to Depot, program intended to build happy and positive memories for those survivors.
That's really cool.
Take us to Yorkton.
Take us to Yorkton. All right, well, a big day for the Yorkton community after a long hiatus. The Yorkton Indigenous Friendship Centre reopened with a community barbecue. The community hub is primarily for Indigenous people, but it is a status blind, meaning it also welcomes every other member of the community. It is funded by the National Association of Friendship Centres and various grants to provide a variety of programming from NA meetings to community gardening.
Because it's my home, it's my heart, right? So we're back again, creating a supportive community, and we'll see where the future takes us.
Mary Culbertson said the community can help with donating kitchen and decorative items, as well as quotes for the many construction projects ahead for that centre.
Boy, oh boy, we'll just send Jeremy Dodge over there. He's very handy.
Yeah, like you get a hard hat and a hammer, and there's nothing he can't do.
Looks great in a hard hat and a hammer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Take us very quickly to the golf course, Jeremy.
All right, a 16-year-old golfer has etched her name into Saskatchewan golf history, joining her mother to make them the first mother-daughter duo to win the Saskatchewan Amateur Women's Championship. Her name's Grace Odnokon. She won 3 provincial titles in the past 2 weeks.
Wow. Congratulations to her. Have a great day out there. Fairways and greens, everyone.